on all women ready to break barriers and build bridges for unparalleled business and personal growth. Discover the keys to success in leadership, financial inclusion, overcoming gender bias, personal branding, networking for business, and much more. Guess what? It is absolutely free. Be inspired by 6 influential female leaders and 1 male trailblazer. Folake Sowetan, Etemere Glover, Mabel Adeteye, Dr. Tewa Onosonya, Josephine Osamonken Omonini, Karika Yonremen. Special appearance by Kole Shetima. Your vibrant host, Kiki Okewale, will guide you through this empowering event. Compare is energetic EG. Save the date, Sunday 10th March 2024. Time, 4 p.m. Venue, What Tribe Facebook Community. Join the community at bit.ly/What Community and ensure your support by registering at bit.ly/What Tribe 2024. Welcome to a conference every woman dreams of attending, breaking barriers, building bridges, and unlocking your full potential. Join the Women High Achievers Virtual Conference 2024 live.
All right. Welcome to War Tribe Conference. Welcome to War Tribe One Day Virtual Conference 2024. It is amazing to be here. Now, please, if you are online, first things first, I want to apologize that we started a few minutes later than scheduled. We had some technical and admin background check. So we apologize for that. But right now, we're also having a technical issue on the Facebook link. So that means we need to share the YouTube link so that everyone can be connected on YouTube at this moment, on YouTube or Instagram. So if you do have the link, please share, spread the word. If you know anybody who is trying to connect on Facebook, tell them we quickly moved the venue to YouTube so that everyone can join. And besides, YouTube is even easier to click on and just join. So let's do that quickly. All hands on deck, our admins, our team, our listeners, everyone, please help us share the YouTube link right now so that people can join here. All right. So team, also you can do the broadcast and share the YouTube link because we have a challenge with the Facebook link as of now. I'm hoping that we're live on Instagram as well. Welcome to this conference one more time. This is the War Tribe, right? So if you're wondering what is War Tribe, I hope you know, but just in case you don't, it is the Women High Achievers Tribe. Yes. And the reason that this tribe exists, the why for this tribe, it is because this is a community where the success of one is the success of all. And that is why we're not even afraid to tell you that, hey, we have technical issues. Now, the success of this event is dependent on you as much as it is on us. So please, we need all hands on deck. So thank you for joining us. Welcome to this one-day virtual conference, which has been tagged Breaking Barriers and Building Bridges. And I kid you not, the speakers lineup today is amazing. You do not want to miss any minute of it. So if you know anyone that should be here, a woman, a man, somebody who is an high achiever or who is, aspiring to be an high achiever, tell them that if they are not here, where are they? If they are not here, where else should they be? This is the place to be. Go call them, share the link with somebody right now, and let them join us here. Today, we have amazing speakers in the house. We have Dr. Tewa Onosonya. We have Josephine Osamonken. We have Karika Yonremen. We have Folake Sowetan. We have Mabel Adeteye. We have Etemere Glover and Dr. Kole Shetima. We have a fantastic lineup of speakers for you today, and we're going to be talking through different areas of this theme, breaking barriers, building bridges. But before we go into all of that, of course, there is a brain behind this. So I used to say, it's not just a brain, it's a heart, because I know how passionate she is about this community. She is about making impact through this platform, through this channel. So there is a heart and a mind and a brain behind this community, behind this initiative. And that is none other than the convener of this particular conference, right? In the person of Mrs. Kiki Okewale. She is a multifaceted entrepreneur, a fashion designer, and a philanthropist known for her dedication to empowering women and supporting communities in need. With a diverse educational background, including degrees from universities in Nigeria and the UK, she is the CEO of House of Plush Exclusive, aka Hope Fashion and Bling and Blanks Academy. Kiki has received numerous awards for her humanitarian and entrepreneurial achievements, including representing Nigeria in international events such as Thai Silk Festival and the Dubai Royal Gala. She is passionate about giving back and has established initiatives like Women High Achievers Tribe and the Kiki Okewale Foundation to mentor, empower, and support women and disadvantaged communities. Through her foundation, she provides essential resources and educational opportunities to those in need, spreading hope and joy across society. Kiki continues to inspire hope and support the dreams of women, youth, and children throughout Nigeria. So, ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome on this virtual stage Kiki Okewale, the convener of this particular conference. Hello, Madam Kiki.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing?
Very
I'm
well,
super
thank
grateful,
you.
honored, and I feel so blessed to be here today. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the Facebook, but everything seems okay now. It's
Fantastic.
been
Yes, it
sorted
is.
out. Yes.
Awesome.
So I know that a lot of our World Tribe members to join from the link, and they're wondering. Some people have sent me a message. We're not live, So I mean, that is IT for you, because we did everything we're supposed to do. But I am just so grateful to Dr. Tewa. Thank you so much for being on time. My own queen, Etemere, thank you so much for being on time. You all are super amazing. Thank you so much. All right, so while we wait for more people to join us, yes, we are live on Instagram, on What Tribe, on my personal page as well. Wow, we have Karika in already. We have Josephine in. I don't know the kind of women you're moving with, but the ladies I'm rolling with, EJ, they don't play. Look at the ladies are already in, and I'm just so grateful.
They don't play at all. They are
They
so
don't
on
play.
time. I love it. I love it.
Wow, I'm so grateful. So good day, everyone. As EJ already said, my name is Kiki Okewale, and I am the founder of the Women High Achievers Tribe. And it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you to this evening's program. I am both honored and delighted to welcome you to the Women High Achievers Tribe Conference 2024, where we gather to celebrate the spirit of sisterhood, the power of breaking barriers, and building bridges. As I speak with you today, I am deeply reminded of the importance of sisterhood. I mean, how else can I gather power people like this in the house? I am so grateful and so honored. And, I'm just reminded about a bond that transcends boundaries and unites our hearts and empowers our soul. I mean, honestly, I'm just so grateful. It's this very essence of sisterhood that has led to the creation of our tribe of high-value women. And together, we stand as a testament to the remarkable strength and resilience that women possess. Our theme for this conference, as you already know, because you are all a part of it, is breaking barriers and building bridges. And it speaks volumes about who we are, what we stand for. It's about, tearing down those walls. We want to tear down those walls and hold ourselves up together, whether they are societal norms, whether they are self-doubt. I share my story of how I myself realized I was stopping myself sometimes it's not always people stopping us, but we stopping ourselves because of fear, because of the fear of the unknown. And I'm just so grateful that today, we're here holding hands, empowering people. So it's about reaching out and extending a hand to our sisters and bridging that gap that separates us. Throughout our times together, we're going to go into some very deep conversation, and I'm very ready. I mean, I've got my notepad and all ready to learn from your wealth of experience. I really cannot wait to, hear from all these phenomenal, amazing speakers. We're live on 3 Instagram pages, we're live on YouTube, and we're live on Facebook and the StreamYard as well. So we're live everywhere. You might not get to see the number of people watching, but a lot of people are quite watching, and I really personally cannot wait to learn from you. So let's make the most of this opportunity to connect, to learn, and to grow. Let's laugh together, share our joys, and live here with our hearts a little bit fuller and our spirits brighter. I'm really, really looking forward. And I'd just like to say thank you so much to all the amazing speakers for accepting to do this. I look forward to learning from you.
Fantastic. What a beautiful welcome message from the convener of this conference. Thank you so much, Madam Kiki Okewale. You are the bomb. Like you are saying, you are the superstar here, because it's not easy to drag all these powerful men and women into one virtual room. And all of these people are super amazing, busy people, but they've taken time out of their busy schedules to be here. It tells about who you are as a person of value for them to have said yes. So thank you so much for being the amazing
very
woman
grateful.
that you
Thank
are.
you.
Thank you very much. Okay, guys, I see that. Okay, it feels like the technology is trying to gather itself up. Like, okay, there's supposed to be people here. I know you're here. So if you're here and you can hear me, I need you to comment in the comment section right now. Tell me where you're connecting from. Tell me you're ready for the value that is about to hit you right now. Like, we're not even playing, we're not here to play. Like you heard, all our guests are very busy, but they are very committed and dedicated people. That's why they're here. They're even earlier than you. So please be ready with your pen and your paper. Make it your journal so that you won't misplace the paper, right? With your pen and your journal, as we are ready to kick off to learn, just like Madam Kiki has just mentioned. Now, without further ado, I am going to open it up with our very first speaker today, and she'll be talking about fostering mindsets, shattering gender bias and glass ceilings. Like, hey, if you hear no grief for anybody, this is a version of it. We are breaking every table that is breakable, that needs to be broken, taking away every limiting mindset, shattering the biases, and this, on this, event today. And our first guest, our first speaker, who was right on time, just as we hit the live button, she was in the studio. God bless you, ma'am. We really honor and appreciate you for being here. Yes. Our first speaker today is none other than Dr. Tewa Onosanya, who is a seasoned entrepreneur, philanthropist, and mindset stylist. I love that one. Hey, like, she's gonna style your mindset. Hey, how do you like it? Right? She has over 20 years of experience. She holds a BSc in pharmacology from the University of Portsmouth, UK, and is certified in various fields, including fashion journalism, mindfulness, and law of attraction. As the founder of Exquisite Magazine, she organizes events like EMAC, Smerit Walks, and Eloy Awards aimed at empowering women. Through the Eloy Foundation, she provides mentorship, finance, and training to support women in business. Dr. Tewa has been featured in international and Nigerian media and is known for her best-selling book, Rule Your Mind. Passionate about inspiring others, she continues to make significant impact in various spheres. Guys, what an abridged version of a bio, but still carrying fire. Oh my God, still carrying fire. Okay, so we're going to bring her off stage. right about now. Thank you so much, Dr. Tewa, for being here today. We really, really do appreciate you. Yes.
Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was an unbelievable introduction. And I must say a huge, huge congratulations to What Tribe, to Kikyo Yewale, and to you, the energetic EJ. Thank you so much. And well done. God's blessings always. I love it when women get together unapologetically to talk about things to advance us. And I am so honored to be here. I am excited to be here. So welcome everybody,
We
and
love it.
happy International Women's Day, even if it's a few days away. Happy International Women's Month. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the house and the mothers to be. Happy just being a woman day. Happy World Tribe Conference Day. As introduced, my name is Dr. Tewa Onosanya, and I call myself an entrepreneur and a mindset stylist. And when I say mindset stylist, I want people to understand the fact that just like you pick and choose your clothes, to look good and, whatever it is you're wearing so that it matches, for you to feel good and to live the life you desire, you need to intentionally pick your words and your thoughts as well so that you feel good from the inside. Because every single thing we do is from the inside out. Nothing is, on the outside and then coming in unless we let it in. But most of the life experience, well, every life experience is from the inside out. So today I am so excited to talk about, the mindset for breaking that glass ceiling to, for gender inclusion, to, stop gender bias in its track. And I have to say that I am so excited that we're even calling it a glass ceiling. That means it can be broken easily and it can be shattered easily. Thank God it's not, wood or something. So today I'm going to be giving several ways in which we can shatter these glass ceilings. But before I go into that, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. As my bio read, I'm the founder of Exquisite Magazine, the Eloy was the AMAC Foundation for Cervical Cancer Prevention. I'm an author of 6 books. I'm a mindset stylist. I'm a women empowerment advocate, and I'm a cervical cancer prevention advocate. Now, I am all of these because I strongly, strongly believe in myself and believe in what I want to deliver to the world. And when I started Exquisite Magazine over 20 years ago, the only thing I had going for me was the fact that I strongly believed in myself. I have a degree in pharmacology, by the way, which is nothing related to journalism, to publishing, to mass communication, nothing related to that. But the only thing I had going for me then when I started was the fact that I strongly believed in myself, and I still believe in myself, and I wouldn't take no for an answer. I knew what I wanted to achieve. And I knew that, once I go out there to speak my truth, so to speak, people will have no choice but to stop in their tracks and listen to me. So Exquisite Magazine is at the point it is today, which is, one of the top magazines in Nigeria, although now digital, still one of the top magazines in Nigeria, the magazine for fashion, wellness, and lifestyle in Nigeria, because I strongly believed in myself. Now, every woman here today, every woman listening to me today must cultivate one mindset of strongly believing in themselves, even if you don't know how to go about whatever it is you want to achieve, or what your goals are, but at least believe in yourself. And one thing I have to say, when we're talking about gender bias, is when I started Exquisite Magazine, I just thought of myself as a woman that is, a person that is going into this field. When I was young, I'm so blessed to, have been raised in a family where nobody told us boys could do this and and girls could do that. We could do and be whatever it is we wanted to do. When I was in secondary school, I was playing football. Nobody told me that, football is a boys' sport and you shouldn't do it. I didn't have that mindset. And it goes to, how we are raised and how we are today. We need to even stop thinking about, I'm a woman doing XYZ. I want us to, first of all, think ourselves as a human being doing XYZ. Yes, I happen to be a woman, and yes, he happens to be a man, but I am a woman, I am a human being first. So when I got into the publishing world and started doing interviews, people were now asking me, oh, how does it feel being a woman in the publishing world? At first, I didn't understand what that meant, because I was like, oh, there's a difference. I mean, like, are we treated differently? I didn't know that because I wasn't aware of that. Now, note this from today onwards, that things will come into your reality once you become aware of it. So if you didn't know about something, if you didn't know that there was a negative connotation to being a woman in XYZ, you wouldn't live that experience. You won't even meet people that are on that timeline. But because people started talking about it, then I started now thinking, oh, really? I didn't even know that, the field was male dominated. I just thought I am somebody that loves what I do. I'm in the publishing world. So because I was groomed with that mindset that I can do whatever it is I desire, that is what is helping me till today. So I want everybody to embrace that mindset that you can do whatever it is you want. No matter what sex you are, male or female, although we're all female today. Well, most of us are female today. As a woman, you can do whatever it is you want to do. You can be whoever it is you want to be. We went to the same schools as the men. We graduated with the same degrees as the men. So why should we be treated any differently? Why should we be treated any less? You must, resolve within yourself that I am a human being. Yes, I'm a woman, but I'm a human being that is going to express myself the best way I want to, because I want to do that. Now, my first point in shattering the glass, in ways we can shatter this glass ceiling, is number one, that's self-belief and confidence. You must believe in yourself. You must, have that confidence within you. Mind you, there's a difference between confidence and arrogance, a very thin line, and we don't want to cross that line. But appear confident. And how do you become confident? You become confident by knowing your onions, by knowing exactly what you bring to the table. You become confident by learning and knowing exactly what you are talking about. So even if you're a little bit scared, you're confident in the product and services you're giving out to the world. You're confident in your career, whether you're a business owner or a career professional. You're confident in that field. It is important for you to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. When children are young, we always speak to them that, oh, you can do this, you can do this. All of these things, you need to say it to yourself as well. Tell yourself every single day that you can do it. Because whether we win or lose, well, I don't call it lose, whether we win or learn, it's in our minds first. So be confident. Have that self-belief within yourself that you can do whatever it is you want to do. And quieten the voice of doubt. Quieten the voice of fear. The only reason we're scared of anything is because we haven't done it before. And our minds will always want to keep us in our comfort zone, to keep us safe, thinking that it's keeping us safe. But do not let your mind take you out of the game. Raise that self-belief within you. Overcome that self-doubt that you're in the male-dominated world. Oh, they're going to look at me as a woman who is fragile. No, you show up into that room like God sent you there. You show up into that room with your head high and your shoulders square. You show up into that room because you deserve to be in that room. And another point to ways to, shatter this glass ceiling is you have to embrace ambition. Do not be scared of wanting more for yourself. Don't be scared of wanting a lot for yourself, because you deserve a lot. And I always say this to people, that you wanting more for yourself is life calling you to expand, because God knows what you can do. God knows what you're capable of doing. So embrace ambition. Pursue your business or your career goals with that determination and that commitment and resilience. I mean, Exquisite Magazine is where it is today because, like I said earlier, I refuse to take no for an answer, and I am committed. And I'm very, very consistent as well. I call myself a consistent queen, because whether rain or sunshine or hailstone, I'm out there giving my best. So you must be committed to whatever it is you're doing and embrace ambition. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean you can't have more, that you can't be more, or you can't do more. You can do whatever it is you want to do. So you must develop that, you must develop that determination and that consistency as well. You can't start something and then stop just because you saw a little bit of challenge, and challenges will always come, whether it's the easy thing or the difficult thing. Challenges will always come. So you have to make sure that you're resolved within yourself. You believe in yourself. You have the confidence in what you're trying to put out into the world, and you're determined to see it to fruition. Set ambitious goals. Even if it scares you, there's a quote that says that if your goals don't scare you, then it's not big enough. Set those goals. God will show you how to achieve them eventually. But set the goals anyway. Don't be scared and take action. Take action. Don't be waiting for the conditions to be perfect, because the conditions will never be perfect. There would always be something that would want to come in the way of you moving forward. But you must make sure that whatever it is you're doing, you're determined to see it to the end. Stop starting and stopping. See it to the end. You know where you're going to. You know what your goal is. You can change the direction to get there, but make sure that you're heading in that direction, regardless of any perceived barriers or limitations. And remember this: any limitation is a limitation that you have in your own head, because it's not confirmed yet. Have you gone out there to and people have told you that, oh, you're too old, you can't do this, or you're not knowledgeable enough, you can't do this, or you don't have a master's degree, you can't do this, or you're not from a wealthy background, you can't do this? No. And I want you to also remember this, that whatever limits you have, they are, all in your head, and it can be changed. Limitations in your mind can be changed. So I want you all today, when you're writing out these ambitious goals, write out a list of the reasons you think you will not achieve it. And then ask yourself this question, is it true? Is it true for me? Am I sure that I can't achieve it because there's not enough money? Who says there's not enough money, by the way? That's your assumption. Are you going to, put pen to paper, put this proposal together, and start networking and speaking to people? Set ambitious goals. Let go of any limiting beliefs that will want to stop you in your tracks to say that you can't achieve X, Y, Z. Because when you have an idea, when you have a vision, it's God's words for you. And God's words do not return to him void. So, your vision or your goal will not come to reality when you give up, if you give up. And that, you've come to World Tribe Conference today, you're moving forward and you're never giving up. Even if the road seems very shaky and, littered with glass that you've shattered, you are moving forward. That is the mindset that you need to imbibe. That is the mindset that you need to, work with moving forward. I said this earlier and I'm going to say it again. Do not let your mind take you out of the game. My third point is you have to be resilient. You have to be resilient because, things will always make us fall. So you fall down 9 times and you rise up 10 times. Every single time you fall, yes, you can be down for a few minutes or a few hours or a few months. But when you rise, make sure you're rising like a phoenix. Make sure you have that mindset that you're bouncing back from whatever setback this is. And say it within yourself that this setback is for a greater comeback. You must be resilient. You must, resolve within yourself that whatever it is, you are going to bounce back. You are not going to give up, because there are people watching you and using you as a guiding light. You don't want to disappoint yourself and disappoint other people as well, especially your children, for people who have children or your family. You must view failures and setbacks as opportunities to grow. This is an opportunity for you to learn one way something will not work. Who was it? I think it was Edison, or what's the name of the person that discovered the light bulb? He apparently tried, was it 1,000 times before he got that light bulb moment. And then now we have electricity using the light bulb. You must try and try and try again. Do not give up. Giving up is not an option. Yes, thank you. Rise like a phoenix, because every setback is something. So imagine a setback like an arrow. Is it an arrow? What do they call it? Like a catapult. Like a catapult pulling you back. That's a setback. And once you release it, it goes forward, even further than you thought. So every setback, view them as an invitation for you to pull back and move forward. So be resilient. Definitely don't let your mind take you out of the game. Make sure that whatever it is whatever reasons you have or you're thinking, write them on a piece of paper, and always ask yourself this question: is this true for me? So do not be discouraged. You must have that mindset of not being discouraged. I remember in 2006, we could not print a copy of Exquisite magazine. One copy. We did not print the whole of that year. I remember one day sitting on the floor in my balcony, crying my eyes out, bawling, like really crying. And I was saying to God, God, please, why? Why is this happening? We were not selling advertising. We were not selling subscriptions. We could not afford to print a magazine. Did I give up? I almost did. But one thing that pulled me off was the fact that, hold on a minute, you've sold adverts before. That means you can sell adverts again. It might be a bleak period, but then again, go and learn more about the business. Go and learn more about this publishing world that you've put yourself into. So what did I do? I went back to the drawing board. What is working? What isn't working? And it was then that I found out that most of the people that were advertising in the magazine, I was giving out the adverts free of charge. Oh, to my friends. Oh, you want to advertise? Come, bring it into Exquisite. Oh, you want to come? Bring it. Oh, you don't have money yet? Don't worry. Bring it. And sometimes as business owners, we're so passionate about what we're doing that sometimes we don't think about the money. But the money is what's going to make way for us. God said that our gifts will make way for us. So me not charging them was doing myself a disservice. And at the end of the day, for the whole year, 2006, we couldn't print a copy. And then one day, an idea came to me. And luckily, I met up with somebody that I had met at an event, which goes to my fourth point about networking and mentoring. So I met this gentleman, and before we knew, I told him about the magazine. He was excited about the whole concept of the magazine, and he was introducing me to people that wanted to, place an ad in Exquisite, fully paid for. If I had given up today, we would not have Exquisite magazine. Today, I probably won't be an author. We probably won't have the Eloy Awards, which is the biggest and the most consistent award ceremony for women in Nigeria. We probably won't have that. All the thousands of women we've been screening on the AMAC Foundation, we probably won't have that if I had given up. So you must build that resilience and have that determination, no matter what it is, to succeed. I repeat, don't let your mind take you out of the game. Now, my fourth point, to shattering this glass ceiling, this invisible glass ceiling, is to network and look for mentors as well. Look for mentors, look for coaches, look for an accountability partner. I want to encourage you all to build a strong network. Look at What Tribe, be involved in What Tribe. I mean, I've certainly made a vow to be more involved in What Tribe as well. Be in a community of women that are building themselves up, that are going in the direction that you're going into. We're not talking about other people, but we're talking about businesses. We're talking about careers. We're talking about what we need to invest in. We're talking about houses that we're going to buy together and make money, on. We're talking about self-care. We're talking about how to build our homes. Women who are strong networkers, women who will put your name down in places that they know that you fit in, and you would be able to do justice to whatever it is. You need to build a strong network. If we're talking about money, we need to talk about, if we're talking about currency, we need to talk about the people currency as well, because you are who you know. And there's this thing about 6 degrees of separation. There are 5 or 6 people from the next person that you want to meet. If you intend to meet the president today, there are 6 people within that degree of separation that will get you to that point that you need. So build a strong network, connect with successful people, be supportive as well. So you're not just connecting to take from them. You're also bringing something to the table. You're asking them, how can I be of value to you to make your work easier? We want a symbiotic relationship, not a parasitic one where you're just taking. We want, both people to benefit from this relationship. Provide guidance for them as well. Provide value. Make sure that you're out there speaking your truth and letting them know that they can be, you're helping one another. Look for mentors, and your mentors could be people within you or people even outside the country or international, wherever, but you're listening to their podcast, you're watching their YouTube videos, they're inspiring you, encouraging you to be better. Have an accountability partner, somebody that's going to checkmate on you and say to you, oh, you have this goal that you want to achieve by the end of 2024. What are the steps that you've taken? How are you getting there? You need to network. You need mentorship. You need that. And then another point to break in this glass ceiling is you need to be an advocate for change. I said it earlier, that be the woman that speaks for other women, putting their names down, knowing that that woman could fill this position, or could do this, because you know that woman's strength. So advocate for change. Become advocates for gender equality. People that know me, that anywhere I am, if I see any injustice done against women, I speak up. I don't let it go, because when we keep silent, that means we're encouraging that. When I see events that, they're talking about, I don't know, they could be talking about any topic, and then I see this long list of men. Most times I call the number on the flyer and call the organizers that, why are there 10 men and 1 woman? What happened? Some of them will tell me that women don't, they don't want to be a speaker. That's why we just put the men, because the men want to speak out. No. From today onwards, put yourself forward to speak at events, because we are knowledgeable. We have an idea of whatever topic is being discussed. We all went to the same school. We're all in this world and we can read the news. We're knowledgeable. So put yourself forward and advocate for change. If you see injustice being done against women, speak up. Be your sister's keeper. Speak up. And then another point, my 6th point, is you need to lead by example. On my Instagram page, on most of the posts I do, I always say that I am Dr. Tewa Onosanya and I am living the words I speak. Every single word I speak, I am living. I am not paying lip service. I am living it, and I am taking action on it. Because we can't just be talking about it and not doing anything about it. You must speak it and live it. So lead by example. I encourage you all, don't tell me my time is up. I encourage you all to lead by example. Okay, now I'm going to go very quickly. I encourage you all to take on leadership positions. Don't be scared. You can learn on the job. When I started Exquisite Magazine, I'm a pharmacologist by training. I learned on the job, and there are books, there are resources, there are organizations. The Eloy Awards Foundation for Business Owners, we're there to support business owners to build thriving businesses. Okay, 3 points very quickly. Another one is you never stop learning. Do not stop learning, because when we learn, we're building ourselves. What you knew 20 years ago is changed and is different from what you know now. If you're not learning, you're going to be stagnant, and anyone that is stagnant will die. It's not a curse, it's the way life is. Very quickly. Another point is to challenge stereotypes. Challenge the stereotypes that say, oh, women can't be in this room. Women can't do politics because you have to have meetings at 2 a.m. If we're having meetings at 2 a.m., I'm going to be there because I know the reason why I'm there. So don't stand up against anything that is, that is stereotypical. Oh, women can't be XYZ. Women can't have children and be X. No, we can do it all. Do you know how powerful you are? Have you seen a woman in labor? Men can't go through the pain we go through. We are so powerful. So stereotypes, challenge them. By whatever careers you want to pursue, do it. I'm so thankful that now we have female DJs, we have female mechanics, we have a female truck pusher. We have women doing, excellently well. Another point, cultivate a positive mindset. We create our lives from our mindset. Whatever it is, whatever it is we're thinking of, we are creating more of it. Whatever it is you're focusing on, you are creating more of it. Therefore, whatever you want to be, your goals, visualize the good version of yourself. Affirm it, speak it. Don't say anything contrary to what you don't want to see in your life. If you don't want to see it in your life, don't speak of it. Because when we talk about it, that means we're giving it power and we're giving it energy. So speak more positively about your goal. Speak more about where you want to. Now you're distracting me because I know I have to go. Speak more about where you want to go. Visualize yourself with this higher version of yourself. Affirm it. Script it. Write the vision. Make it plain so that you can read it to yourself every day and embody it. In life, we don't get what we want. We get who we are. And who we are is what you believe about yourself. And it goes back to my number 1 point about believing in yourself. And last of all, I'm going to end with this, build a supportive network. Support the next woman. Build up the next woman. Throw the ladder down for the next woman. Let's help one another grow. By implementing all these strategies, we can shatter these glass ceilings over and over again and achieve success and fulfillment in whatever it is we're doing. Thank you so much.
Please put your hands together, your virtual hands together in the comment section.
Are you sure my time is up?
No, it is. We actually even had extra time, right? But
I did.
It's okay. Yes. mean, 20 minutes go way fast. Even 25
Really?
goes fast when you are
Oh my
pouring out
days.
with passion, which is what you've done today. 10 amazing points. Guys, I hope you wrote down those points. If you didn't, at some point, I'm going to reiterate some of those points that was laid out because she really nailed it. And I could see the comments coming in as well. The comments are pouring in.
Fantastic.
As the comments are pouring in, please also put your emojis. Let me know you're feeling this. Like it's hitting you where it's supposed to. It's giving what it is supposed to give. Thank you so much, Dr. Tewa Onasoya.
Thank
Your
you.
passion
Thank
speaks
you.
loud, and we are amazed at what you've done so far. Thank you for sharing your story. Please don't go. We'll take you backstage, and later on, at some point, we'll bring everybody back up for Q&As because I'm sure the fire you've just opened up right now, people are burning. They want to ask questions. So please stay with us, and we'll bring you back up stage when it's time for Q&A. Thank you so very much for being here.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Guys, I hope you are having fun. I can see you are. I can see you are getting a lot of value already. There is more to come. Without further ado, I am going to bring up on stage our next speaker. Give me 1 minute. Let me see how this shows up. Okay. All right. So this is not showing the way I expect it to show. I'm going to bring up our next speaker. Give me a second. Let me just see. Yes. Okay, fantastic. Can you still hear me, guys? If you can hear me, tell me in the comment section. Can you still hear my voice? Can you still hear my voice? Let me know in the comments if you can still hear my voice. Can you hear my voice still? Guys, let me know. Give me feedback. Yes, we can hear you. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Yes, our next speaker is right there on the screen in the person of the beautiful Karika Yoreme. She is a dynamic personal branding and corporate strategist known for positioning professionals for accelerated career growth and guiding companies towards global impact. With a track record of empowering over 30,000 professionals worldwide, she has collaborated with organizations such as the World Economic Forum, Global Shapers, and leading financial institutions. Karika's leadership is in global energy corporations delivered outstanding results across diverse markets. She's also a catalyst for socio-economic change, leveraging technology to elevate corporate branding and facilitate inclusive growth for African entrepreneurs. As the founder of Karika Republic, she superheads initiatives to empower female professionals and entrepreneurs worldwide. Karika holds a Bachelor of Engineering degree in Electrical Electronics Engineering and is pursuing an MBA at Columbia Business School. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your virtual hands together. Let the emojis pop up in the comment section as I bring up on stage the one and only Karika.
Thank you so much for that warm welcome. I'm really excited to be here. I heard part of Dr. Tewa Onasoya's her session, and I was like, yes, this is powerful. I love the energy in the room, right? This is what I'm here for. And you've been amazing. I like when you said he's giving what he's supposed to give. I'm like, yes, exactly. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
The stage is yours for the next 20 minutes. God bless you. Bye.
Yes. Okay. So hi, everyone. My name is Karika. I don't know if, okay, fantastic. My slides are here. Great. My name is Karika, and I'm here to talk to you about networking beyond borders and dismantling gender bias. Listen, I want everyone to, can we go to the next slide, please? One of the reasons why networking is very important to me is because in my life, the things I have done in this world, the mentors I have, the places I've been, the networking has been such a huge part of it, right? Networking is something that has changed my life. It has taken me to places around the world. It has put me in front of president, government, different things. And I really want you to be a part of it. I really want you to understand that networking is, I'm very Christian. Networking is your spiritual birthright, and is a way for you to gain connections to do, your divine helper. So we're going to talk about it in the next 20 minutes. But first of all, and secondly, my session is I need you to be in the session. I need to see your fire because it's very interactive. You're talking to me, I'm talking to you back. Okay? So are you ready? Let's go. The very first, before we talk about networking, everyone, network in the comments. Say hello to someone. Say hi to someone. Introduce yourself. Talk about yourself. I've been seeing people, dropping. Talk about yourself. Say hi. My name is Chioma. I'm happy to be here. Let us know you. Let us see you. So I'm giving you the next 30 seconds to network. Say hi. Say hi. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. Fantastic. Networking is important. Energy. I love it. Say hello. Talk about yourself. Quickly say hello to someone in the comments. In the next 30 seconds, say hi to someone. Say hi to someone. You never know. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. Fantastic. I'm loving the energy in the room. I see people talking. I see people interacting. Amazing. I love the comments. Yes, your name is Rosemary. Fantastic. Hi. Hi, Rosemary. Don't worry. We'll be friends on Instagram. I love it. Yes, talk about yourself. And I'm going to give you the reason why this is really important. Hi, Comfort. Lovely to meet you. Hi, Joy Amuche. Amazing. A social media manager. Great. Sally. Yes. I love it. Yes. Energy. Great. Okay. So keep the energy going. And this is something that I want you, wherever you go, wherever rooms you step into, whenever you go for Zoom meetings or virtual conferences, network. Networking is not just until you go and wear your Christmas dress and say, hi, my name is Sade. No, in every opportunity you find yourself, on every platform, leverage your advantage, okay? So thank you very much for doing that. I'm happy to meet Beatrice and Sally and Titi Lola. You guys are amazing. You absolutely rock. Okay, fantastic. Let's go to the next slide because 20 minutes is very short and I really want to give you as much value as possible. By the time you leave the session, I want you to leave with three major things. The first one is the mindset of networking. And this nugget I'll give you, wherever you are, whether you're on the plane, you are in your school, you are at work, wherever you are, you'll be able to network. The second thing I want you to understand is that technology is your friend. We're talking about networking beyond borders. Technology is a huge part of it. The third thing I want you to understand is that success knows no gender. So enough with being only men can succeed. No, you are amazing, you are powerful, you are the value, and it is your birthright to succeed. Okay, fantastic. Can we move to the next slide? What is networking? What do you think networking is? So in the comments, tell me, what's networking? Is it when you say hello to somebody? Is it when you go to a conference? What do you think networking is? Give me. What do you think networking is? In 2 seconds, tell me, what do you think networking is? Type it in the comments. What's networking to you? Is it that when you go for that event and then you wear your Christmas dress and you say hello to someone? Is it when you share your business card at a meeting? What do you think is networking? Quickly tell me, what do you think? Connecting with people. Fantastic. I love it. You people here are on fire. Energy. I love it. Tell me more. Networking to me is like trade by barter. Great. Good. We'll talk about that. What else? Tell me. Networking is bonding. Sis, I love the people on this. I love people who are connected to this conference. Amazing. I love the comments that you've given. Let me tell you what networking is from my perspective, and I will share with you a story that I love so much. Can we move to the next slide, please? So before I tell you what networking is, let me give you my favorite story, right? I met this a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago. I don't know how far back now. It's really far. I was going to Port Harcourt. If you're in Nigeria, Port Harcourt is a state, is a place in Nigeria, in Rivers State. I was going to Port Harcourt for a trip, and usually I take the early morning flight. I went on the plane. I met this lady. She was a slay queen, hair on point. This was a 6 a.m. flight, nails on point, everything on point too, and I'm like, okay, fantastic. What's my own? I went to sit down on my seat. After, when the flight was over, when we landed and everything, I saw her standing, and she looked like she was a bit worried. So I passed by her, and I'm like, hey, what's wrong? And she's like, oh, her Gucci slippers caught. I said, okay, that I have an extra pair of bedroom slippers. Do you want it? At least till we go down to where we can pick a suitcase and you can wear another slippers. She said, okay, sure. And she was feeling a bit shy. Imagine now, your Gucci slippers caught. She was feeling a bit shy. I said, don't worry, me, I don't have shame. I'll walk with you to, where we get our luggage. That's how me and this lady walked to the arrival spot. We started talking and everything. Her luggage came, and then we exchanged numbers. Then in the night, I reached out to her. I'm like, hey, are you okay? She's like, yeah, she's fine. Thank you so much, Karika, for everything you did and all of that. And that's how me and this lady exchanged contact, LinkedIn and Facebook. I don't think Instagram was out then. We started talking and everything. Over the years, like maybe in the next 2 years, we'll like each other's posts and everything. Few years down the line, this lady reached out to me and said that there's an opportunity in America that she wanted me to, she recommended me. And I'm like, you recommended me. Why? I mean, no, first of all, when you recommend me an opportunity, I will take my full chest. I'll say, thank you very much, And that's another thing. I'm giving you nuggets already. As women, when people recommend for opportunities, you tend to cower, like you tend to act small. You tend to be like, hey, me, what do I? Only for your full chest, okay? When people recommend for opportunities, it's because they believe in you. So accept with your full chest and say thank you. So say thank you very much. This is amazing. But I'm a bit curious too. Out of everyone else, why did you recommend me? And she said, see, this role, 2 things were needed. One, they needed somebody who knew how to do the job. And I'm always posting on LinkedIn. I talk about things I do on LinkedIn. So again, talking about yourself, leveraging social media to your advantage is a great way to network beyond borders, because people are reading what you're doing. People can see what you're doing. People can, read your impact, and people already understand that, oh my God, Sade is amazing. Sade is powerful. Sade knows what she's doing. Okay. The second thing she said was that, remember that trip that we had where my slippers caught? People walked past me. You stopped, you gave me your slippers, you held my hand, and you walked with me. And on this project, we needed somebody who was kind. We needed somebody who understood emotional intelligence, and that's why I recommended you. And that project literally changed my life. Like, the money I made, the impact I made on that project was amazing. So back to my definition of networking. What did you learn from this story? We can put up the slides back. What did you learn from this story, from networking? What did you learn? Amazing. I like what sister said, walking the talk. Amazing. Very true. Like, I believe that, I walk the talk of networking. I'm a walking, living networker. I'm a walking, living person. Now, me, I don't play when it comes to that. I love what this person also said. Leveraging social media to your advantage is key. Amazing. Time is valuable on social media. What are you doing? Are you just laughing at people's comments? It's fine to do that. But how are you also showcasing your value? Offering help to someone in need. Fantastic. Kindness is a superpower. For all of you that think that you have nothing to offer, kindness is a superpower. I love what this person said, and this hits the nail on the head. You can meet anybody anywhere. You just have to be ready. That is networking. You can meet anybody anywhere. Networking is not until you come to a conference and you're wearing your jacket and you're interested. Every day of your life is an opportunity to network. And that's why I started this session telling you to network in the comments. Networking is a living lifestyle. Networking is your daily interaction with people. And anything can connect to anybody. With that lady, it was the fact that I was kind. It spoke to her, and she's leveraged that to, she's used that to, we've used that to build our relationship. So my 2 definitions of networking, everybody get your pen, write it down. Number 1, networking is your everyday human interaction. And back to what someone said here, she said, you can meet anybody anywhere. You can meet anybody anywhere. The second definition of networking is the exchange of value. Networking is the exchange of value. And I want you to break that nonsense mindset that you have that is until you're a data analyst or you're a CEO before you can be valuable. No. In this story, my kindness was what was valuable. Value can be anything. So ask yourself, what can I do? Am I somebody who makes people laugh? Am I somebody who is kind? Am I somebody who is supportive? Value can be anything. So networking is the exchange of value. In that story, the value that made that woman and I become friends was kindness. She didn't even know that I was anything. It was just the fact that I was kind. So networking is the exchange of value, and networking is your everyday human interaction. Okay? We can move to the next slide. So I'm going to ask you, what do you think is the most important thing? Okay, now I've talked about networking. Great. What do you think is the first step to network? Give me comments. What's the first step you need to network? Yes, my darling, elevator pitch is part of networking, and I'll go into it quickly. What do you think? I like what people are saying. Can use your empathy and compassion to network. I mean, I love it. People are demystifying. It's not just until you wear your Christmas dress. You can use anything to network. Self-confidence, yes, very powerful. What do you think is the first step to network? Okay, I like this. Self-confidence, great. First thing, smile. Yes, of course. Show compassion and love. Energy, yes, very true. Bring it, keep it coming. Yes, smile, show compassion and love. Use your empathy to network. Great. Confidence. Smell good though. Yes. Let me tell you, in New York, my perfume, everyone, like the brand that I use, I feel like they've gotten so much money because people like, oh my God, Karika, you smell so good. I love how you smell. and it's a great conversation starter, right? So yeah, smell good though. Okay, so let me tell you, drum roll, everything everybody has said is amazing. Will compliment people, great. The very first thing in networking, and if you forget anything else, never forget this in your entire life, from today henceforth till the day you go and meet God, is that I'll tell you the perfume, don't worry. Is understanding that you are the value. Hold on. Did you hear me well? You are the value. You are amazing. Let me tell you, if you do not understand that you are powerful, if you do not understand that you are enough, you can't compliment anybody. Because everyone, tell yourself in the comments, I am the value. Yes, I am the value. Put your name there. Shade is the value. Fumi is the value. Oluchi is the value. Shoma is the value. Put it right there. And I want you to never forget this. You are the value. You are amazing. You are powerful. I mean, God created you and he looked at you and he's like, what? You are fire. Let nobody tell you anything else. You are amazing. So when you understand you are the value, Joy is the value, Rosemary is the value, Kiki is the value, Delphine is the value, Timotokpe is the value, Sally is the value. Yes, Tofumi is the value. Never forget that. Titilola is the value. Never forget that. That's the number one thing you need to network. When you understand that you are powerful, when you understand that, see, I have something to offer. My voice matters. Yes, it doesn't, like, my voice matters. I have an opinion. When you understand you are the value, it gives you that self. See, think of your life as a tree. Understanding you are the value is the roots of the tree, right? When you understand you are the value, self-confidence will come. You are not shy to pitch your business. But someone that asked me about elevator pitch, you're not shy to pitch your business. You're not shy to accept opportunities. You're not shy to go on the internet and build a personal brand. You're not shy to understand that success belongs to you and not just men. You're not shy to go after your dream, go after your promotion, go after me. I love to negotiate. I love me. If something is impossible, you're talking to the wrong person, because I will go hard. You're not, and women, another thing I want you to do is that when you're negotiating, please stop qualifying things, only quantify things. When you understand that you are the value, you will take a chance on yourself. Okay? So the very first thing, the one thing that I want you to never forget is that you are the value. Even when you say hello to people and they reject you, you're able to say, okay, you know what, it's fine, they rejected me, but no problem, we go again. So you are the value. Never forget that, okay? We can move to the next slide. You are the value. I love that everyone is talking about that. You are the value. You are premium. You are powerful. You are enough. Before we move on, I know I have like 7 minutes left, so let's quickly do this. Check yourself on Google. Everybody, Google yourself. Check yourself right now on Google. Put your name, Omolara, put yourself on Google. Check yourself, Blessing, check yourself on Google. Do you like what you see about yourself? Do you like what you see? Like the things that show up on LinkedIn or whatever on Google, is that a true representation of who you are? Go hard, and yes, go hard. Don't go home. Me, I'll push you. I go hard. I go very hard. Like no means try again to me, you know. Yes. Okay. So have you checked yourself out on Google? The reason why I'm asking you to do that, check yourself on Google, is for you to understand that what do you see? People are already putting it. I need to work on this. So, hey, my God, oh, hey, I look at how I look. Oh, hey, you need to, in networking, in building. Now that you understand you're the value, if you're trying to build a global brand, if you're trying to do big things, you need to understand that the world we're in is a technology world. When you say hello to someone, they're going to check you out on Google. They're going to be like, oh, okay, Shola said hello to me. They're going to check you out. So ensure that as you try to build a global brand, as you try to, there's so many opportunities I have gotten without even applying for the job or applying, just because of my Instagram, just because of my LinkedIn, just because of how I show up, right? People say, oh, Karika, I think you can do the job. I'm like, okay, but you haven't seen my CV. They're like, well, you talk on Instagram, you talk on LinkedIn, and we want you to come on board on this project. So it's very important in this world that we live in, as women who are high achievers, as women who want to break glass ceilings, you need to fix up your online presence. So everyone, yeah, like what she said, don't play with your Google or your presentation. It's very important because people judge you. When people say, don't judge a book by its cover, that one is story. People will judge you by your cover. So ensure that your social media presence is very well. It would help you to build a network beyond borders. It would help you to get opportunities without people even meeting you. Very, very important. Okay, we can move to the next slide. In networking, something that helps you to network, something that helps you to achieve success in your career is your personal brand. And your personal brand is based on, who are you? What does Shola have to offer to the world? And can you see the reason why I started with understanding that you are the value is because if you do not understand you are the value, your personal brand is going to be crap because you're going to show up not confident. You're going to show up self-sabotaging yourself every step of the way. So in building a personal brand, you need to understand that you are the value. Is very important. One assignment I'm going to give to everyone here today, write a letter to yourself. Acknowledge yourself. Tell yourself thank you. Be like, you know what, Shade, when you grew up in a one-bedroom apartment, but today you are here. Acknowledge yourself. The grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you are. Water your own grass. Human beings will always jump on a moving train. Human beings will only attribute themselves to success. But people might not necessarily help you push that train. It's on you to push your train. So acknowledge yourself. Tell yourself thank you. Tell yourself thank you. International Women's Day was on Friday. Did you even thank yourself? Did you thank yourself? Even if nobody thanks you, thank yourself. Acknowledge yourself. Validate yourself. Tell yourself that you are amazing, you are powerful, you're enough. And when you're able to do that, you're able to build a personal brand that is fire. You're able to build a CV resume that is amazing, right? So if you want to break glass ceilings, if you want to do big things, you need to understand that you are the value. And when you understand that you are the value, it translates to your personal brand. You are amazing. I agree, 100% agree. Okay? So understand that your personal brand really helps you to network. One of the reasons why, a lot of the people, speakers that are here, I've seen them. Some of them, I haven't met them in person, but I have read about them online. I'm like, oh my God, they're amazing people too. So your personal brand really helps you to network. There's so many people that I have become friendly with, or there's so many people that I have done business without even meeting them. It was just from my personal brand, just because of, oh, this is what this person represents. People, I can see you here. You say, oh, you're a fashion designer. Do you even post about your business? You talk about why will anyone give you an opportunity if you do not talk about it? So enough of playing small, enough of this nonsense humility. There's nothing like that. Talk about yourself. You are light. Shine brightly. You are light. Shine. Take up space. Take up space. Understand that you are enough. People need to see. Even if there are 1 million billion fashion designers in the world, that's okay. But you, Adebisi, the way your creativity, the way you think about concepts, the way you bid, the way you saw things is enough, okay? And show up that way. The next slide quickly. I know I have 3 minutes left. I just want to wrap things up saying that, we can go to the next slide. I just want to wrap things saying that, what's the next step? I've talked about all these things. One thing you will do that will be a disservice to yourself is not starting. You've heard this thing now, ginger energy. Yes, I'm the value, I'm powerful, I'm this. Okay. Tomorrow, what happens to you? Are you going to go back to that low energy? No. So everybody that is here I know all the speakers that are here are amazing. I've heard them speak, I've read about them, they're amazing. After this conference today, write an action plan. What am I going to do? How am I going to start networking? Right? Start small. I told you, I gave you that example of how I met this lady on the plane. It was bedroom slippers. Bedroom slippers. I can't remember how many 15 naira bedroom slippers that brought me that opportunity. So the next thing is start. What do you do next? Start networking. Say hello to someone. Write a letter to yourself. Tell yourself how amazing you are. Tell yourself that you are going to, you're going to shine brightly. Remind yourself that you are the value. Paste it everywhere in your house so that nobody can tell you anything in this life. Okay? And just start. Just shine. Just shine. You are made for more. You are amazing. You're beautiful. Tell yourself that, okay? And as we wrap up now, never, ever, ever forget you are the value. Shine brightly. Thank you so much, and I loved being here.
Woo! Can you people shatter the comment section with emojis for me, please? Like shatter this comment section. Let it just be having like fire emoji, drum roll, all the emojis you know how to use. What? What? Wait, do you need water? Should we give you cold water? Because this fire is too much. Wow. No, you have embodied what networking means. Come on now. Say I am the value. Now me.
Yeah, the value, absolutely.
What that mean? Now me be the value. So if you meet me, you have met the value. Like, what else do you want? What are you asking for? Oh my God, that was amazing, Karika.
Thank
amazing
you.
presentation. like you were just hitting, giving us goals like, hey, if you don't wake up, like, what are you doing? Who told you need Christmas clothes to network? Like, who told you? I love the story you shared, by the way, to remind us that it's not about what you have. Sometimes it's about who you are. So if you truly understand that you are the value, then you're able to associate and relate and resonate with the thing that you are, with the person that you are. So if your smile is what people compliment you about the most, that is your value. So smile. You first of all, you know that, you see, it's very hard for you to smile at people and they don't reciprocate. If they don't, it means that, see, they don't, well, is that they don't see you, or whatever it is that they are going through at that moment has blinded them. But any sane person, if you smile at them and they see you, they would naturally smile back. That is already a conversation opener. Like, literally, even complimenting people for the littlest of things. I've walked up, like, just trying to enter the metro or get on the bus, and I'm like, oh my God, I love your dress. You will see how they will blush. Thank God, say we will not have you blush. You can't see it, but you see somebody eyes face go red. Like, oh my God, thank you. That is the conversation. That is your value. Thank you so much, Karika. I know you have to run. I appreciate you. And I know, like, I saw a lot of questions coming in the comments while you were speaking. Like, somebody's like, Karika, how do I overcome my fear of meeting people? Like, I'm afraid of human beings. I don't know how to approach them. This is what we're going to do. We're going to collate all your questions. So please send them in. We're going to collate them and we're going to send them to our speakers, and they would respond to us, and we will share it to you via email. So if you did not register for this event, maybe somebody just showed you the link and say, come and hear something. Please ensure you still go back. The link to register is on the screen. Go back or get the flyer, go back and register so that you can join our mailing list and you can get all the answers to your question. One more time, Karika, God bless you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
I know you have to run now.
Yes, I have a flight.
You have a flight to catch. Absolutely. Have a fantastic day. Bye. Wow. If you're getting value already this evening, please type in the comment section. Say value. Say value. Say value. Okay. All right. Please keep the value coming, as I call on the next value. Value overload. I love that, Mama Kiki. As I call on to top up the value. No, see, I hope your cup is not full. If it's looking like it's full, shake it like this, shake it, so that it will go down, so that I can collect more, right? Because today your cup will be full and it's be running over. Our next speaker today will be talking on the topic breaking through mental hurdles. Now you already know, like, everyone, the stress, the economy, this, that is, it's causing a lot of mental clog. And sometimes, it feels like your head is heavier than your body. Like, it used to be okay, but now it feels like it's heavier, a lot of things going through your mind. How do you break through those mental hurdles? That is what our next speaker is going to be talking about. I have the joy of introducing our next speaker. No other person than Osomonkwe Josephine Omoniye, who is a clinical psychologist and entrepreneur interested in mental health, mindfulness, and personal branding. The encourager, as she calls herself, helps teenagers and young adults discover who they are by placing them on a journey of self-love and self-discovery. She has also facilitated training to upskill entrepreneurs and staff on soft professional skills, including but not limited to emotional intelligence, personality, conflict management, and organizational psychology. In 2020, she founded Dios Empire and has provided strategic direction as its creative director, positioning it as one of Nigeria's fastest growing millinery store today. All right. She relies on her experience to bring a 360-degree approach to every task that she is entrusted with, while at the same time lightening up any room with a contagious smile. Oh my God. Now I want to experience that smile so that the one on my face can even, multiply. Ladies and gentlemen, with your emojis and all the emojis and all the clapping that you can give in the comment section, let's make welcome Josephine on the stage. Hello, ma'am. How are you
Hi.
today?
I'm very-
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much,
Thank
Auntie
you for
Kiki. Wow,
being here
I have
with
my notes here. So, yes, I'm a speaker, but I'm also learning. I could just sit down all day and just be writing. Wow.
I
Thank you
tell
so
you,
much.
so good, so good.
Rika.
You have the stage for the next 20 minutes. Please take it away, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Auntie Kiki, once again. So please let's have my slides and let's get to it. We're not dulling the moment, okay? So I'm a therapist, so I'm also gonna be asking you questions, and don't forget, I'll also give you an assignment at the end of the session. All right, so how to break through mental hurdles. All right, so it's gonna be very interactive. I'm gonna be showing pictures, so I want comments. I want you to think. I hope you have your notes with you because we are going to be doing exercises together. So, breaking through mental hurdles. These are the World Tribe Conference, and like my name, I'm Osomoken Josephine Omoni. I'm called the encourager. So any aspect of your life that you need encourager, mental health, career, parenting, I am here for you. All right, so let's quickly go to the next slide. I have a picture for us, and I want us to look at it quickly and just tell us what is wrong with this picture. So look at it critically. What is wrong with this picture? There's something up with this picture that is not right. All right, so there's a horse and then there's a chair, there's a rope. So what is wrong with this picture? Quickly, can someone just tell me? When I see one comment and then I'm good. Thank you, Auntie Kiki. Limiting mindsets. Okay, one more person and then we go. Limiting mindsets. Limiting mindsets. What other thing is wrong with this picture? What other thing? The chair doesn't have the capacity to hold the horse. Amazing. And this is what happens to us most of the time. And that's what I'm talking about, mental hurdles. Mental hurdles. These are limiting beliefs. These are mindsets that we hold that prevents us from exploring all of the amazing things that our speakers and our incoming speakers will talk about. We all know that the horse can even break the chair. But because the horse, I don't know where the horse saw that, oh, I have to be attached to this chair and I cannot move. And it believed it and it is sitting there. So I don't know if you're a mom, you're a sister, you are a business person, you are a career woman, and they are telling you that you cannot do certain things because you're a woman. That is a limiting mindset, and you shouldn't believe that. All right. So what you should do if you are the horse, run. All right, and that's what we're gonna see how we can run and jump over mental hurdles. Okay, so the next slide, please. Exactly, little power from the source. The chair doesn't have the capacity to hold the horse at all. So the question is why? Why did the horse allow it to? Limiting mindset, mental hurdles. So it feels, oh, I cannot move. Thank you so much. Next slide. So I think I have a task for us. Oh yeah, so these are examples. No, the previous slide, please. These are examples of mental hurdles in our everyday life. Oh, I'm not sure this is for me. I can't do it. I will fail at it. What if people laugh at me? I don't like trying new things. I don't like coming out of my comfort zones. Can you list some, mental hurdles that you have? List it in the comments, and I want to see them. So these are examples of mental hurdles that we have as women. All right. So this is a women conference. We're going to be addressing issues to women. I'm not sure this is for me. Oh, thank you, Auntie. I'm shy. I'm an introvert. Or I'm an extrovert. I tell people there's nothing wrong with being an introvert. You can be an introvert and still network. Yeah, I was listening to Dr. Samadeyemi, and he said it. Yes, he's an introvert, but he had to learn social skills. So you're telling yourself, I will fail at it. You're saying, oh, I want to start this business. But you're saying, what if I fail? What if people laugh at me? Oh, I want to be a mechanic. Look at the lady that's a mechanic. I'm sure people are telling her, are you sure you should do this? Or you are a mom and you want to go for your PhD and you're saying, oh, what will people say? Yes, can I do it? How will I do it? I'm too little. I'm too small. Bible says, do not despise the days of little beginnings. Don't let anyone despise you because you are young. I'm afraid of failing. And I love what Dr. Tewa said. It's a learning phase, so you need to change the way you see failure. And that's what we're going to see. The way you see failure could also be a mental hurdle. So these are examples of mental health. Thank you. Will this work out? Will this work out? Will it turn out fine? All right. What will people? This one of what will people say? We women. What will people say? It's a big mental hurdle that we need to overcome. So let's take a look at the next slide. So just keep on listing more mental hurdles that you yourself you experience or you've heard other women talk about. So the next slide, I have a task for us. Yeah. Who am I to have such audacity to try? Exactly. All right. You know, you're at work and they say, oh, who would like to work on this project? Well, you know you can do it, but you're like, I'm a woman. Can I really? Well, let me just sit down. All right. So let's do this task together. Thank you so much for like I showed it on. What will people say exactly? So I want you to write down how much money you want to make this year. Please add the currency. I forgot to add that in the slide. Write down how much money you want to make this year. When you've done that, add 10 after it. Then add 2 more zeros. So I want someone to share with me their figures. Quickly. Thank you, Florence. I am afraid. So how much money do you want to make this year? A lot of people want to make money. But a mental hurdle could be you're not even specific. You don't know how much you want to make and you say you want to make money. That's a mental hurdle because you're not specific. All right? But that's for a goal setting, brainstorming session. But let's do this task together. How much money do you want to make this year? Write the currency, write the amount, add 10, add 2 more zeros, and notice the emotions you feel. Is there any doubts, any fear, any can I do it? So this is 1 million naira. What currency? Okay, so I'm saying naira. I don't know what currency you want. 20 million. What currency? Can you see? It's a mental hurdle because you don't even know the currency you want to make. So how do you want your mind to work on it? Can you see that? A challenge could be not being specific. $1 million. I like the extra S. Amazing. Can you add another 0 to that $1 million? $20 million. Amazing. So as you're writing this thing, do you actually believe that you can do it? Or you're like, oh, it's because Josephine is saying that she just writes it. But at the back of your mind, you're saying, oh, yes, I can do it. That's amazing. But you're saying, can I? How? In this economy, can I really? 2 million naira, that's small. I'm here to shock you. That is small. People are making 2 million naira in a day. So why are you waiting for the end of the year to do that? Why? Breaking through mental hurdles. I like this, 100 million pounds. So as you're saying it, as you're typing it, your mind is working through ways you can actually establish all of these things. Thank you so much. So let's move on. Let's move on quickly. So that's our task. So 3 ways very quickly how we can break through mental hurdles and I'll be out of here. So 1, I want you to see it. So that's why I gave you those tasks. Then you speak it and then you do it. These are 3. Of course, there are a lot of other ways, but for the sake of time, I've summarized how we can break through mental hurdles. So we remember that in sports, those hurdles that's why I put those pictures, those one are those women jump or those men jump as they are running. But why do you think they are jumping over them? It's because 1, they have a vision. So the next slide, please. They have a vision. You have to see it. If you're seeing problems, then you would see problem. Yes, this slide is fine. If you're seeing difficulty, then you will experience difficulty. So I want you to replace impossibility with I am possible or it is possible. So you've written these different amounts of money that you want to make this year. You need to settle it and see yourself making that money. Quick story. I think in 2018 or so, I already started calling myself an international public speaker. Funny enough, the only speaking engagements I had were in Nigeria, were local, right? But I kept on seeing it. I kept on speaking it. I kept on doing it. All right, I had it in my profile. I had it everywhere. I tell my sisters, please, call me an international public speaker. It didn't take long before I was invited to speak in the UK. Someone will say, oh, it was a virtual conference. It was not physical. Hello, impact is impact. This is a virtual conference. All right, and I am making impact. Auntie Kiki is making impact. Dr. Tewa made impact. Karika making impact. So your mind is the one telling you that it needs to be a physical event, or your mind is telling you that you need to travel before you make this amount of money that you've written down. So you need to see it. What are you seeing? What is your vision? That is why those people that are in sports, they are seeing the end goal. They are seeing the medals that they want to win, that they want to acquire and take back home. You need to keep the vision in your heart and then focus on it. You are not doubting. You are not wavering. So at the end of this conference now, you've written $20 million. And then tomorrow you go to work and they're like, well, this surpasses. You've already nullified what you've already seen. So that's why we'll see the next slide anyway. But this is seeing it first. You need to choose to see the lessons and not only the challenges. What is this challenge trying to teach me? What is this pain trying to teach me? Yes, you invested money and you lost a lot of money, but that should not prevent you from seeing yourself as a billionaire. So you need to see. That's the first way to overcome, to break through mental hurdles. You need to change the picture in your mind. If you keep on seeing yourself as stuck, then you will be stuck. Yes, we have a lot of responsibilities as women. We're wives, we're parents, we're sisters, we're businesswomen. Just look at Auntie Kiki. Oh my God. Sometimes I just need to go and touch the hem of her garment about the 100 things she's doing, right? But she is excelling in all of them. Why? Because she has a vision of who she is. That's right. So you need to be focused and determined. The next one, please. The next one. After we see it, and then this vision, you're keeping it at the back of your mind every single day. Next slide, please. Then you speak it. You speak it. What kinds of conversations are you having with yourself? What kind of conversations are you having with other people? Like I told you, I was telling everybody I am an international public speaker. I'm an international clinical psychologist. Nations come to my rising. I have clients all over the world. I speak it because I've kept it in my heart. I've seen the vision. You can't keep on telling yourself those mental hurdles that what do people say? Can I really do it? I'm shy. I don't know how to network. Look at what Karika said, bathroom slippers. But you're telling yourself, well, another person will do it. You have the answer to a solution in your workplace, but you're like, would they listen to me? Would they? I'm just an intern. I'm just a manager. It's a meeting for head of companies. Hello, you need to speak the right words that are in line with your vision. You need to have conversations that are in line with what you want to see happen. You can't be in the circle with people that are negative. Yes, the economy is economy, but trust me, I'm a therapist. I know how much people are paying for therapy in this same economy. So you need to speak the right words and then surround yourself with people that are speaking the right words. People are still opening restaurants every single day and people are still buying from them. Why? Because they've changed the way they are seeing the challenges. You need to just, what are the needs of people? And then you see yourself addressing those needs. Those are the kind of conversation you should be having with yourself as a business owner. You're not saying, oh, this economy is not supporting business owners. Look for your customers. It's going to be tasking, of course, but that's why it's a challenge to push you forward. You need to be strong-willed. Thank you very much. You can't limit yourself. Look at that picture that I've shared with us first of the horse and the chair. I'm sure I was telling myself, I'm stuck here. Oh, there's nothing I can do. They told me to sit here. This chair is the one directing my life. I'll just stay where I am. No problem. All right. Until someone else says, hello, horse, you have power over this chair. Please move. So you need people to also ginger you if you are not gingering yourself. You can't always be with people. Yeah, of course, it's good to ginger people, but you can't always be the one gingering people. You need people to also ginger you. Speak into your life. All right, the next slide, please. So you are seeing the vision. You're not seeing the hurdles. You are seeing the goal. You are seeing the money you want to make. You are seeing the impact. Then you are speaking it. And then finally, you are doing it. This is the statements of Nike, right? Just do it. Do it afraid. Take that risk. Ask questions and then do it anyway. Why are you afraid? If you check all of those people that are successful today, they did it afraid. Or you're saying, oh, I want to write a book, but will people read it? I don't have enough knowledge. Let me go for my master's first before I write a book. Do you know with your HND, you can write that book? Yeah. And I would buy it because there's something you have that I need. So do it afraid. Take that risk. Go for that course. Go for that course. Go for that training. Ask questions. You can't know it all. I told you I have my book here. I've written what Dr. Tawa, has encouraged us to do. I've written what Karika told us to do. Imagine, she said, I am the value, and that is it. And I believe it. Ask questions like we were asking, oh, how can I do this? I'm not really good at networking. Oh, I'm shy. I'm an introvert. Learn. Practice, practice, practice. Asking questions will give you the right answers. Or if somebody shuns you, that's fine. You go to another person, but make sure you are doing it. You're saying, oh, if I go for my master's, what will happen to me 2 years? Let me just wait. 2 years will come and you'll still be 32. Oh, I'm 30 now. What will people say? 2 years will come and you'll still be 32. So just do what you have to do now. Learn. You're going to learn. It's going to be an exciting journey, but just do it. Just do it. Stop allowing the limitations of your mind and the limitations of other people. So let me also say this. The limitations of other people can prevent us from experiencing fullness. So you need to check, what this person is telling me, what my mom is telling me, what my dad is telling me. Is it in line with the vision I have for myself? If it's not, I cut it off. So you need to always have the picture of what you want, where you're going to, at the back of your heart, at the back of your mind. You're speaking it and then you're doing it. And it's a cycle. You're speaking, you're doing, you're seeing. You're speaking, you're seeing, you're speaking, you're doing. They go together. They go together. Next slide, please. They go together. So, Dr. Ruplin said, don't let mental blocks control you. Never again. Never again. As you're listening to me, you're making that decision. I don't allow my mental blocks control me anymore. I set myself free. And that is what that horse should do. Oh, in short, I struggle myself. I break free from my limitations, my limiting beliefs. I break free from societal mindsets or from societal pressures. I confront my fears. I confront them. Yes, I have a baby and then I'm going to school. Yes, I have 2 children and I'm getting my PhD. Confront that fear. Turn those mental blocks into building blocks. So we may not be able to remove the physical hurdles, but first, at the back of our minds, we have said, no, I've overcome this, and then I move forward. So the next slide. So the next time you are faced with a mental hurdle, the next time someone questions you and says, oh, are you sure you can do this? I think you should wait a bit. Don't start this business yet. Get all the information you need. Get all the capital you need. Let me show you what you should do in the next slide. The next thing you should do when you are faced with a mental hurdle is to jump. I pass it. I jump over it. I can't be limited. And that's how you break free, because you know where you're going. You know what you have seen. You've seen yourself as an international fashion designer. You've seen yourself as an international. Please, I want us to stop thinking small. That's why I'm mentioning international. You've seen yourself as an international mechanic. You've seen yourself as an international fabric designer. And then someone says, who will buy your product? What do? You jump. Not me. Not today. All right? Because you've seen it. Because you speak it. And because you are doing it. Thank you very much.
Woo! No. You see, this combination of speakers, is a confirmation of how fireful even Mama Kiki is. Because only a fire can attract fellow fires. Get what I'm saying now? Because what's going on now? Dr. Tewa opened the floodgate of fire. Karika came and put fuel. You now, you have come to, you doubled up the fire. What is going on here tonight? My God. Yeah, sorry I'm saying tonight because it's already night where I'm at, right? Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Josephine Omwani. You are amazing. And I just want to say, first of all, since you're a therapist and a mental health advocate, thank you for the work that you're doing to help our society at large stay sane. God bless you. God increase you in knowledge and in strength, and God would expand your reach so that you can help more people to have more, mental stability, because we need it. We need it in this
Yes.
time and in this season. So thank you so much, and thank you for bringing that value to us here on a platter of gold, telling us how we can let go, see it, speak it, do it. And I love how you ended to say it is not a one-time thing. It's not one
That's
off.
right.
It is not one off, and it's not linear, right? Because in one area of your life, you can't be seeing it and you're just
Mm-hmm.
brooding on it only on the scene level. While on another side, on another part of your life, you are doing it. You are
Yeah.
doing it. Okay. So see, I'm a confirm. I would say that I'm a testimony of
Yeah.
this picture you opened up with. Because again, you keep calling international,
Yeah.
but the same mental block can have you in that international space and you will still be thinking local.
Like a local champion.
So
Never reduce.
mental block, it is real. Don't fall for
Mm-hmm.
it. You can
Yeah.
overcome it. And Mrs. Josephine has just taken us through the process of the things you can do. Like, start with this. First of all, create the mental picture. Second of all, speak it out with your chest. Don't be afraid. And
Mm.
third of all, just jump. Hey, jump first and think later. God bless you. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much for your time. I know questions are going to be coming in. We're going to take some questions later on if you're still in the house. But if not, we're going to compile the questions from the audience and send to you so that we can reach out to them via email. Thank you so very much. God bless you. Awesome, 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 guys. Please let me pause here. 2 minutes pause here. And what I want you to do, if you've gotten any type of value, which I know it is impossible for you not to have gotten value if you have joined and if you have been listening actively in this session, if you have gotten one thing that has spoken to your heart, that you know that, oh my God, this is so good. I know you know at least one person that needs to be here, that needs to hear this by themselves. Like, if you go and recount it to them, it will not be the same. Now, I know they've missed some sessions, but we still have some more sessions to go. And if they come in now, they will be inspired to go and watch the replay like you would do. All right. So go right now, click wherever platform you're watching from. If you're watching on YouTube, just click that share button. Share the button, copy the link, paste it on your WhatsApp status. Okay. If you're watching on Facebook, the same thing. On Facebook, you can share. On Facebook, you will see the three dots on this video where you're watching. Click on that three dots, copy the link, and quickly go and share on your wall, on your profile. Okay. Or you can share it to your WhatsApp status as well. Call more people to be here. Let them come and hear it for themselves firsthand, because we might all be listening, but we're not hearing the same thing. And it will not hit us the same way. For some people, it will hit them differently when they hear it directly. So let's do that quickly. Share, share, share. Let's have more people join us. We have a couple of sessions more to go. Thank you so very much for being here. You have been amazing audience, by the way. So let me say thank you to you. I give you hand. This is me clapping for all of you, every single one of you watching on any of the platform, whether on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, all the YouTube channels, all the Instagram channels, and all the Facebook channels. God bless you. We celebrate you. You are the real MVP. Our next guest that will be coming up, I believe is already in. Yes, we are already waiting in the session in the studio with us today. And the next speaker is talking about key to leading across boundaries. If you notice something in the thread of this conversation, there is just international smelling around. This is to say that international is in the neighborhood, okay? Don't miss out. Connect, plug in, write the things that you need to write down. Write down your action steps and take them, because if you do act on them, I promise you, international is waiting somewhere. Okay, I see you guys. I see you guys. You're doing the sharing thing now. I celebrate you. Do it, do it, do it. Share, 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 so that more people can be here. It is lovely to have you here, Maria Etemore Glover. Thank you so much, ma'am. We see you in the stages in the studio as well. Thank you, and we can't wait for your session because it's been fireful all along. So, our next speaker talking about key to leading across boundaries is none other than Folake Showetom, who is a seasoned business leader with over 2 decades of experience in aviation, oil and gas, and electricity distribution sectors. As the CEO of Ikeja Electric, she garners awards like Best Electricity Distribution Company and Most Gender Diverse Utility Company. A Harvard Business School alumna, Fulake is dedicated to sustainable development, co-founding the Women in Energy Network, WIEN, right? She actively promotes women's empowerment through organizations like Women in Management, Business, and Public Service, WINBIZ, and the Boardroom Africa. Known for her people centric approach and commitment to excellence, Fulake balances her corporate duties with family time as a wife and mother to twin boys. An adventure enthusiast, she enjoys refining living spaces and dreams of racing on the Formula One track someday. Ain't that audacious and ambitious? That's what we're talking about. Big goals. Like, dream it. Don't be afraid. Jump. Think it. See it. Believe it. Speak it. And it will come into existence. Amazing. Amazing. Madam Falaka Shuraton, if you are available and ready for us, we are ready to rumble. We want your fire in this room. Come and share some adventurous spirit for us here today. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. I'm going to bring up on stage Madam Falake right about now. Hello, hello, ma'am. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. Good evening. Good evening. It's energetic.
Love the energy.
Amazing. Fantastic. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. So the stage is yours for the next 20 minutes. Please carry us, go where we don't know. We are safe in your hands.
All right. Good evening, everyone. It's my absolute delight to be a part of this fantastic session organized by my own darling and special Kiki. But before I go ahead, let me wish every single woman that is on this call happy International Women's Day. I know today wasn't Friday because it's International Women's Month. Happy Mother's Day to every woman that is represented here. For those who are even believing that they're going to be mothers, I wish you happy Mother's Day today. I want to say a big thank you to Kiki for giving me the opportunity to first of all be a part of this. This matters to me a lot. My schedule is extremely tight. I'm going through some serious pressure now because of the sector I'm in, and we have some major challenges that is nationwide. So I don't really have the time, but because I understand the value and the importance of what Kiki is trying to do, I told her that I was going to be here. And I'm glad I joined. I joined when Dr. Tewa started. It was fire. I thought I was an energy bunny, but I've met people that passed me today. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Dr. Tewa. Thank you, Karika. And thank you, Josephine. I have my own notes as well. My pages are full from all the different lessons learned. And Josephine, you did a fantastic job. I mean, my own target has moved from $1 billion to $1 trillion now in terms of what I want to be able to achieve this year. Thank you very much. And that is in dollars, by the way, not in Naira. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm just going to dive straight into it. So what am I talking about today? So if you listen to everybody that spoke today, Dr. Tewa has, pushed us and, encouraged us about how we must lead by example, talk about speaking up. Karika spoke about you understanding your value, you are the fire, your voice matters. Josephine, spoke to our mental barriers and just being able to break those mental barriers. So I'm going to talk from leading and what leading means, at least for me. And I'm just going to talk from my own personal experience. And the topic I thought would help achieve that is leading with empathy, because that is my style and that is my belief. So all of the things we've learned so far today, I don't think that you can fully achieve a rounded person or a rounded personality if you don't understand the importance of empathy. So I'm going to try and make this as interactive as much as possible. And I'll start by just asking, I would like to see comments in the chat box. What does empathy mean to you? Please, can you people help me? By the way, disclaimer, this is my first time using this StreamYard. So excuse me or pardon me, I'm so used to working with Zoom and Teams. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm able to navigate. So tell me, what does empathy? Please, can I get some comments? Can I get some energy? Can I get some vibe? I feed off people's energy. You're really beautiful, ma. Is that what empathy means? Thank you, though. All right, please, can you please give me something? What does empathy mean to you? What does empathy mean to you? I'm looking. I can't see anything. Empathy. Is it me? I can't see comments. Can you hear me? Confirm you can hear me. Empathy.
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you. We're putting it on the screen for you.
Fantastic. Empathy is being human, showing others you care. Absolutely. What else? Empathy. Okay, I'm just going to, go straight into my definition. So move the slide. My definition of what empathy is, right? Feeling one, yes. Feeling for others, fantastic. Sharing one's feelings, fantastic. Brilliant. Empathy means putting yourself in other people's shoes. Okay, all right. So empathy for me, empathy is simply the ability to identify with how others might be feeling. And that connection is what motivates us to treat others how we want to be treated ourselves. I think it's very important. I think it's so important that if we're able to understand and see things from other people's perspective, if we're able to wear other people's shoes, it helps us connect to people. And if you're able to connect to people, it helps you be able to treat them or respond to them in a way that you would like to be responded to. I like that. Empathy means putting yourself in other people's shoes. Fantastic. That's what empathy means. It has the power, obviously, if you understand empathy, it has the power to change the world. It has the power to influence other people when you're empathetic. Can you move the slides, please? I think that as leaders, when we're able to employ empathies, right, what happens is that people are willing to go the extra mile when we understand the meaning and appreciate the meaning of empathy. And the truth is that if as a leader, you're able to establish meaningful connections with the people that work with you, if you're able to see things from their perspective, what happens is that trust is built and you're able to forge very strong relationships. And I think that empathy is not just important maybe in the workplace. Empathy is very critical in our day-to-day lives. If you have the ability to understand and appreciate and actually practice empathy, you find that things will work for you because people need people to succeed. A lot of things we've spoken about today, you can't do it in isolation. You need people to be able to achieve a lot of things. And empathy is something that is not taught us when we go to school. It's not something that's taught in schools or in university or in secondary school, So if you have that skill, you have an edge over your peers. You have an edge because people are drawn to you and people want to work for you. So let's look at what statistics shows us about this empathy. So can you move to the next slide? So according to a survey of nearly about 1,000 employees, it was found that 76% of employees with empathetic leaders are usually more engaged compared to about 32% of employees with less empathetic leaders. Another report showed that 61% that are more, they are more innovative at work compared to only 13% who had less empathetic leaders. And 86% of employees report having a higher level of work in terms of life, in work-life balance, in comparison to about 60% with less empathetic leaders. So I think it's important that an organization has a leader that is empathetic. And when I think about my organization, for example, if you think of even what is happening currently with regards to the economic situation, where the cost of diesel, the cost of petrol, the impact of the Naira devaluation, what is having on transportation in itself. If you have an empathetic leader, the empathetic leader is able to come up with policies, come up with initiatives like work from home. It's not all organizations that are still doing work from home. Some people have made it a part of their fabric, but an empathetic leader understands that it will be difficult for employees to be able to navigate effectively with regards to what is happening in the economy today. And as such, they will put in initiatives that would show the employees that they feel their pain and they understand how this must be hitting them. And what that does is that when the employee feels like a leader or the organization cares about them, understands things from their perspective, automatically it helps that employee think of ways to support the organization to succeed and achieve their objective. So that's one thing that I have seen consistently in my own career life as to why empathy and being an empathetic leader helps organizations succeed and grow. I always tell people, I've worked in different organizations over the last 23 years. I've worked in the aviation space. I've worked in oil and gas mainstream. And of course, this is my last current career. I'm working in the biggest disco distribution company in Nigeria. And I'm not an engineer. But how am I able to influence and work with my team to bring out the best in them? I think one of the biggest strengths, at least that I have as an individual, is the ability to be able to see things from the perspective or different perspective of my team members. And what that has done over time, at least for me, at least in my position, is that people feel valued, people feel respected, people feel like their ideas matter or their ideas were heard. And so because they know that their ideas will be heard and they're going to be valued, they're willing to put themselves, even if it's wrong. Remember what Josephine said. If you have to psych yourself to say that you have value and you are the value, imagine what that does for you when somebody else who is your leader is telling you that I want to hear what your idea is, no matter how stupid it is. It's not going to make you feel foolish for expressing yourself. And that's why that data says you find out that when you have a leader that is empathetic, understands that this person is an introvert, this other person is an extrovert. The introvert doesn't get to express themselves as much as an extrovert and is able to draw the introvert out. You find out that you get the best of the people that work for you. And ultimately, the organization is better for it. If the organization is better for it, everybody's happy because the organization is now able to do things that they ordinarily wouldn't be able to do for the people that they work for. And what then happens is that when you begin to be an empathetic leader, you teach people also how to be empathetic themselves as individuals. So let's go to the next slide. So what is not empathy? Or empathy is not, because sometimes I think people misunderstand or mislabel empathy because sometimes people confuse it with other emotions or reactions. So let me highlight what empathy is not. So empathy is not sympathy. While we're both involved in caring about someone's situation, empathy focuses on understanding the people or the person you're talking to's feeling, while sympathy focuses on being sorry for them. There's a difference. It's not empathy. Empathy is also not pity. For me, I think pity can somewhat be condescending, and it can also imply that the other person is incapable of handling situations. However, empathy, on the other hand, acknowledges the difficulty acknowledges that situation, acknowledges and understands, just puts themselves in that other person's situation, but avoids being judgmental. Empathy is not just saying I'm agreeing with someone. No. Empathy doesn't require you agreeing with someone's perspective, but rather it requires you understanding why they feel the way they do. So I was having an argument the other day with a couple of my girlfriends, and we're talking about some lady who was dating a married man, and two of those my girlfriends were very particular about, you're not supposed to do that. Da, 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 da. And, I was just, I just made a statement. I said, what if they're in love? And they looked at me. I said, what do you mean? How can you say what if they're in love? I said, but is that not a possibility? Now, it doesn't mean that I agree with that position, right? It doesn't mean that I agree with a single woman that is dating a married man. But the reality is that I am able to look at it from the different individuals' perspective and think, how did they get here? And if you understand and can appreciate how this person got to this particular situation, and you have an opportunity to engage that person, then you more than anybody has the power to be able to influence them or guide them to be able to move onto the track that you feel is the better track, as it were. So empathy also is not about mind reading, it's not about fixing things. While empathy can motivate you to help someone, it doesn't mean that you're offering unsolicited solutions. No, at all. So it's not about you trying to fix things. It's about you, like I said, trying to understand where someone is coming from and their own unique perspective. It's also not about mind reading. While empathy involves understanding another person's perspective, like I said to you, it doesn't mean that magically you know exactly what they're feeling on their thoughts. But effective communication is very key and paramount in empathy. And of course, lastly for me is empathy is not oversharing. Empathy, sharing your own similar experience can be a way to connect, but it is important not to make the conversation about you. It is not about you. It's about you understanding and just listening actively and trying to understand, why is this person thinking like this? Why is this person in this situation? And just leaving yourself out of the situation and just simply being in their shoes. And I recall what made me be very, very particular about empathy, because when I was much younger, I experienced someone who totally misunderstood me, who judged me because they didn't listen to me. They didn't understand my perspective. And because they didn't understand my perspective, they were judging me. And in judging me, I kept on making mistakes. I kept on doing the wrong things that I ordinarily knew. And because I understood how I felt and how the way this person treated me by not understanding my particular situation at that time made me be the worst version of myself. And then after that, I experienced a boss who very quickly, on the same situation, I had a change of boss, who asked me some very deep questions. And after the conversation with that person, I felt for the very first time that somebody understood me, understood my fears, could relate with it, even though they were not afraid, but they could relate with it and they didn't judge me. And that changed my performance altogether. And I told myself that this is something I must learn. I must be very deliberate about being empathetic to people because I saw the impact it had on me. So next slide. So why? Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, I use my own backup. So I think I touched on some of these things. Why should leaders develop the power of empathy? I think that is important that if you understand your team members, you know what you talk about, collaboration in the team, everybody has a strength that they bring to the table. If you understand your team members by just simply observing them, simply by trying to understand each person's unique strength and weakness, understand their needs, understand their concerns, understand their emotion. I mean, when I talk about this role as a CEO, the first thing I did with my immediate team was to do a personality test. I did a personality test. That's how deliberate I was about each person, so that I understand the sort of triggers and the sort of language or the sort of pressure each person will respond to by just simply understanding their personalities. And that made a difference, because two people are not the same. And if you're treating two people the same way, then you're not going to get the best out of your team members. So I think it's important for a leader, if you want to get the best of your team, know them, understand them. And empathy is one thing that will definitely help you understand your team better. The second thing for me that I think is important for leaders to develop empathy is it helps increase employee engagement. I think empathetic leadership fosters a positive and engaging work culture that supports every employee's well-being and their mindset and their potential. I mean, I think that it also helps with job satisfaction. And when people feel engaged, when people feel heard, when people feel seen, and what happens is that people are more productive. And this obviously, like I said before, contributes to the business success. And you find out that when people are successful at work or successful at what they're doing, they're also going to be successful in their own personal lives. And when you're feeling fulfilled in your personal life, you're going to bring your best foot forward. So it's always win-win. So I always wonder and I struggle when leaders don't take their time to realize that the singular most important resource any organization has is the human beings. You can have fantastic ideas. You can have fantastic strategies. Who is going to execute it? Who is going to execute it? It's the people that you work with. And there's just not one way to execute the plan. There are different ways. There are different ways. And you find out that if you allow or create an environment that allows people be able to express themselves and not feel stupid, but they're ready and open to also be able to take feedback, because if they know that they're not going to make them feel stupid, but they see it as learning. People are not afraid to fail. And when people are not afraid to fail, they come up with initiative. They come up with ideas. And that's where you see a healthy culture. That's where you see productivity and you see business results. I also think, like I said, it boosts innovation. Empathetic leaders are open to different perspectives. It's not one way. They know and understand that it's not one way to achieve an objective. And as such, like I said, this, builds and encourages a culture of innovation, a culture of creativity. You're not going to say that just because this is how it's done. I mean, I work with a lot of different, age groups. I have my Gen Zs, I have my Gen X, I have all sorts. And the truth is that because I allow them be, they are coming. The way a millennial will speak to me as a CEO is very different from how a Gen Z will speak to me. But I don't take it personal because I understand their personalities. All I'm interested in is what is going on in your head and how can we benefit as an organization, and how can we also help you and learn from you to get the best out of other people. I think also when a leader develops empathy, it improves communication. It creates an environment where the team members, they feel they can express themselves. They can express themselves without being judged. They're willing to learn from mistakes that they make. They feel understood. They feel valued. And of course, when anybody feels valued, feels understood, feels like they can express themselves differently, what does that lead to? Trust. There's trust. There's collaboration. People are able to effectively communicate and express themselves. And once people are able to effectively express and communicate themselves and they trust, there is a healthy culture created. I think that when a leader also has empathetic skills, it helps enhance the ability to be able to resolve conflicts in a fair and balanced way. I think that leaders that have empathy are able to approach conflicts with, a more open-minded view. They're collaborative and solutions-driven in terms of their mindset, because they have empathy and they see that. I mean, many times, I use a very good example of my executive assistant. He's an introvert, but he's very deep and he's very organized. And because I know he's very deep and he's very observant, if I have an executive leadership team meeting and I maybe, went off, I really went off on the team, because I'm very self-aware, I will know that as I'm going off on these team members, I'm losing a fuse here. I hope I've not lost them. But my EA is an introverted person, and he's not able to easily just come and say, "Madam, you didn't do well." Meanwhile, some other Gen Zs will come and say, "Madam, the way you spoke today, I think was off." And I wouldn't see by her eyes like open wide, like, how dare you say that to her? But I realized that because that we've created a sort of environment, Bio is able to effectively come and say, ma'am, the way you spoke today, I think that you could have handled it in a different way. And if that wasn't given to me, there's no way I'm able to be even a better leader to the team. And lastly, for me, I think that leaders should develop empathy because it helps with better decision making. I mean, everything I've said today leads to that. What do leaders do? Your job is to make the best decisions. And a leader who has empathy is able to value the inputs of their team members, is able to consider different perspectives, because he has different ideas and different perspectives, and is able to align his own decision or her own decision taking based on the different perspectives, based on the different needs, and based on the values of the team. And of course, this ultimately ensures that they make well thought out an informed decision, which ultimately will be beneficial to the team and the organization overall. So what are the ways we can develop empathy as leaders? Please, can you go to the next slide? Okay, I hope I'm within time. Just a second. Okay, so for me, while it might not come naturally to some people, either they just don't have it or they didn't know about it. Like I said, it's not taught. The good news is that empathy is a skill that we can learn and it can be developed. And here are some practical tips that I would like to just share with us that can help us implement. I think it's important for you to be able to effectively develop empathy. You need to practice active listening and not just keeping quiet for someone to finish so that you can respond, but actively listening and thinking about everything the person's saying. Why is the person saying this thing? How did it make them feel? Listening to understand how this person is thinking. Pay close attention to both the verbal and non-verbal cues. You know what I said about my executive assistant? Make eye contact so the person feels heard. The person feels that you are present, that you are there. Nod your head, your body language, because sometimes people are keeping quiet, and you can have your hand across your body, even though you're quiet, you're like, oh, just finish and go. They feel that. People feel that. So it's important that you're nodding your head. Sometimes you're repeating what has been said to show that you understand. Sometimes you even ask questions to clarify, to have a better appreciation and understanding, to demonstrate that you're engaging and you're listening actively to the person. Once you're able to listen actively to, like I said, what is said and what is not being said, you're already developing the skill of empathy. The second thing is to encourage feedback. I think it's important to always create a culture where feedback is welcomed, where feedback is valued, where people know that you're getting feedback. Whether you're doing well, you're going to get feedback. Whether you're not doing too well, you're going to get feedback. In my organization, in the last 4 years, we've deployed several surveys. And when we started filling those surveys, the rate of response of people was very low. And when we called the support group, said, why don't they fill the surveys? And somebody said, why are we filling it? They don't do anything about the surveys. And that's feedback. So I said to the team, even if it's 25% that fill the surveys, if they complain about 10 things, if it's only 5 things we can do, we'll go back and complete these 5 things, or we will do it. And we will make sure that we go back and tell them we did this 5. And when we did that consistently, we kept on sending surveys. What do you feel about this issue that we've resolved? What else could we have done differently? And today, the surveys that we send out to staff, the response rate has increased to about 50%. So that is feedback. So it's important that you encourage feedback and that they know that you encourage not just positive feedback, but that you're also open to taking criticism and owning up to say that, you know what, you have a point. It doesn't mean that because I'm the CEO, I'm always right. How can I always be right? And if I'm able to raise my hand and say, I accept your feedback, I take what you're saying, then the person believes that you've earned their trust, I would say. So that's another way that we can develop feedback. Another way of developing empathy is ask open-ended questions. Don't ask questions that are yes or no. Encourage your team members to share their thoughts, build on what they have said, clarify, drill down further. And just make sure that it's not a yes or no answer. And this usually helps us gain a deeper understanding of those people's perspective. And of course, like I said earlier on, we must always put ourselves in the other person's shoes. So if, for example, I'm putting somebody under pressure on the performance outcome, how do I feel when my board puts me under pressure? Once you remember that when they were bashing me, when they were pushing me against the wall, when they didn't let me express myself, how did I feel? I felt frustrated. One should always remember that, it will stop you. And if it stops you, what happens is that you will then ask the question. You're not going to go away from challenging or facing or asking the question, but you ask the question from a more understanding way. And the person doesn't feel like as if you are going against them and you want them to fail. And second, and lastly for me is be very mindful of your own biases. If you're mindful of your own biases, it helps you develop empathy. We all have biases, but it's important to be aware of them so that they don't cloud our judgment in anything that we do. Oh God, my time is up. Let me move to the last slide so I can just skip through it. So I think I've spoken about practical tips of how a leader can develop empathy. And I think I'll just talk about the ability to be able to balance leadership and authenticity and objectivity. So, empathy doesn't mean that you should be soft. Empathy doesn't mean that you just listen, you just want them to be happy. But empathy is the ability, and also objectivity is being able to, I understand it from your perspective, but at the same time, as I understand it from your perspective, I'm able to give you feedback objectively. And I'll just give you one story and I'll conclude. Last week, we had a QPR. We have what we call quarterly performance review. And because of the pressure of the economy, I knew that people were already very stressed and very constrained. So at the beginning of the session, I said to the team, I said, guys, please let us ask questions about these performance figures from a place of grace. Understand that people are under pressure and what is happening in the economy is affecting people and the ability for them to deliver the results. However, as we got towards the end of the presentation, one or two people were presenting things that showed that they didn't even do their work. Now, that's where objectivity comes into play. So as much as I'd said at the beginning, I set the tone and said, don't ask questions and put people under additional pressure, I myself went in and challenged objectively in a balanced tone the thinking behind this performance, the thinking behind the actions that they did there, and the fact that they didn't deliver. So I thought it was important to state that empathy is not about pity, like I said, but it's about being able to be balanced and being objective and be able to say the truth. So in conclusion, for me, I would say empathetic leadership is not about being soft. It's about being strong and being an authentic leader who inspires and motivates the people that work for him. By developing your empathetic skills, you can create a positive, you can create a productive and successful work environment. And this is a call to action for every single person that's on this call today. Please take some time to reflect on your own leadership style. Consider how you can incorporate more empathy into your daily interactions with your team members, with your your domestic staff at home, and you will see how things will get better. You see that people are willing to go the extra mile for you because you've made them feel good about themselves. Thank you very much.
Amazing, 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 amazing. What can I say? For me, it's how deep you are on the subject matter of being empathetic. It shows how in depth you've got into the topic, and it's just amazing what you've shared with us as a leader yourself. And when you think about leadership, guys, don't just think about just in the workplace. I love how she mentioned that even to your domestic staff you can be empathetic. So in your everyday interaction, show that empathy. And that's such a fantastic, it's just so in-depth, guys. You need to watch this all over again. By now, I know it's no doubt that you've gotten a lot of value from this session. If you're watching on Facebook and you're not yet a tribe, you're not yet a member of the tribe, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you waiting for, really? You want us to beg you? No, now, come on. You've gotten enough value. This is a cue for you to join the community if you're not yet a member of the community. If you're watching on Facebook, what are you doing on YouTube? I mean, what are you doing? Click on that subscribe button right now and turn on notification so that every time the War Tribe goes live, you are there, or so you can catch the replays. And if you're, of course, connected on Instagram, follow this account right now so that you can be in the know of the subsequent events and programs that the community will be putting together just for you. Remember that in War Tribe, this community is where the success of one is the success of all. So we hold each other accountable. We're there to support one another all the way on, right? So thank you so much, Madam Falake Soweto, for that fantastic session. Moving on quickly, our next speaker is going to talk about the role of personal branding in gender inclusion. The role of personal branding in gender inclusion. If you're still with me, in the comment section, type ready, ready, ready to go. We want more. I'm going to bring up our next speaker in the person of Mabel Adeteye. She's a seasoned brand communication specialist with 15 years of experience, excels in strategic communication, brand management, and public relations. Accredited in PR by CPR UK and NIPR Nigeria, and in digital marketing by CIM UK, Mabel holds degrees from Babcock University, Ahmadu Bello University, and Lagos Business School. She's managed high-profile initiatives for local and international brands, including corporate restructuring, product introductions, crisis communications, CSR, media relations, and perception management. Currently, she heads brands and marketing communications at Wema Bank. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together, your virtual hands, your emojis, as I bring up on stage Mabel Adeteye. Hello, ma'am. Good evening. Well, good evening
Good
from here.
evening.
Good evening. I don't know if it's morning or afternoon where you are, because this is a global conference. So wherever you are, thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate your presence here. How are you doing today, ma'am?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope to have a wonderful time with our audience today.
Fantastic. The stage is yours for the next 20 minutes. Please take it away.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to be here. Okay, I wanted to be sure that my presentation is up. Okay, I can see that. Okay, so what we are looking at today is the role of personal branding in gender inclusion. I will try my best to stick to the time. I know I have about 20 to 25 minutes, so I will try to stick to the time that I have. But before I go into the role of personal branding in gender inclusion, I would want us to look at two quotes. Can you please take the next slide? Two quotes that I would want to dwell on in subsequent slides. And the first one is, if people like you, they will listen to you. But if they trust you, they will do business with you. The second one says, be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Why did I choose this two quotes? It's because there's been a lot of conversation around wanting to brand yourself, wanting to project yourself out there. And there was a time I had a conversation with someone at a panel discussion where he said that, so the urge or yes, the urge to want to showcase ourselves has a lot of high demand. However, when we do that, it is important that there is originality in whatever it is that we do. So it's not about what people want to say or what people want to see. Sincerely, you must have value that you bring on the table. You see these two quotes, I would talk about it on the two parts, and that is self-confidence and personal branding. You see, these two things are different. They are not the same thing. You want to build your personal brand, you must ensure that there is value on the table. There is something that you're driving. Yes, there's a lot of digital conversations happening out there. There's a lot of digital activities there. There's a lot of platforms that we use to project ourselves. But what do we have to offer? It is important that we understand the true essence of personal branding and why it is important. Before we go into the role, I would want us to see the need to understand self-confidence and personal branding. So what is self-confidence? What is personal branding? Please, next slide. Self-confidence is not a personality trait at all. It is not. It is the inner feeling of certainty about who you are, who am I, and what you have to offer to the world. It is also the feeling that you are worthwhile and valuable. It means having confidence in yourself. Self-confidence is an attitude or feeling of confidence in one's abilities so that you are not anxious in your actions. So because of the demand to constantly project ourselves, because of the demand to constantly drive personal branding, we need to understand self-confidence so that you're not thrown everywhere. I think Falake Soweto had mentioned something around somebody, I couldn't catch all of that, but she said something around wanting to get validity from someone or something. So it is important that our self-confidence is high. And the moment she was able to understand our words, our personality, that changed everything. Our self-confidence is very, very important. You have to feel and understand who you are. You're responsible for your action. You have to drive whatever it is that you want, so you know who you are. And when we talk about personal branding is a project that requires the reflexive capacity of the self to craft narratives around our identities, the value that shows who we are. So I understand my personality. I have self-confidence. I know who I am. I don't need anybody to validate who I am. I understand the value that I bring on the table. Yes, I then need to project myself, and that is what personal branding is. So when we do personal branding, it is important that we know the kind of the way I want people to perceive me, what I bring on the table, how I want to project myself, what kind of perception do I want to drive about myself. So you see that these two things are different. I decided to bring this up because a lot of conversation around wanting to project ourselves out there is taking away the value that we bring on the table. And value as a woman, value as somebody who has something to offer, then we must have self-confidence. Because if we don't have that, what would happen is a lot of demands out there would impact in some of the things that we do. We're neither here, we're neither there, we're just moving around we're moving around different conversations that are out there, not following the path that we have identified for ourselves. Next slide, please. So now that we understand what self-confidence and personal branding is, remember the two quotes where I said that if people like you, they will listen to you. But if they trust you, they will do business with you. That is personal branding. If people understand what you bring to the table, if people understand the value that you bring on the table, if people understand who you are, if people understand how credible you are, if people understand the credibility that comes with your name, if people understand the knowledge that you have, they will do business with you and they would listen to you. And you see self-confidence, you have to be yourself. Everything, everyone else is taken, but you are not taken. So you need to be able to build that self-confidence when you want to drive personal branding. A lot of conversations are out there now, but what differentiates you and I is what we bring on the table. So now let's look at personal branding and inclusion. What are they? How do they stand out? What are the leading activities around these two? And how do they drive or impact one another? I'm not going to bore you with the definition of inclusion. I mean, all through this Women's Month, what we're driving is inspire inclusion. Yesterday at Wema Bank, we had our International Women's Day event, and it was largely around inspire inclusion. We had a lot of panel discussion. So there's a lot of conversation around inclusion. So I'm not going to bore you with definition on inspire inclusion. But what I want to dwell on is how gender inclusion and personal branding, how they intersect, how they come together. Personal branding is the act of strategically shaping and presenting oneself to the world. How do you present yourself to the world? How do you present yourself to your community? How do you present yourself to your platform? How do you present yourself in your area of expertise? That is what personal branding is. It involves identifying and communicating one's unique qualities, your strength, your value, and your passion. It is about you communicating those things. It's not about you communicating what you don't have. So you have to look at yourself. You have to look at your area of expertise. You have to look at what you bring on the table. And that is what personal branding is. And then you communicate that across whatever platforms that you want to use to communicate. A well-crafted personal brand can set individuals apart in their professional and personal lives, positioning them as thought leaders, experts, and influencers. So when you craft your personal brand, when you craft that understanding about who you are, what you bring on the table, what you do, and your area of expertise, what it does for you is it makes you position you as a thought leader, it position you as an expert, it position you as an authority, it position you as an influencer, it position you as somebody who has knowledge in whatever it is that you're discussing. Personal branding is not meant to position you in what you are not. It is positioning you in that thing that you have inside you, that knowledge that you've gathered over the years, that area of expertise that you have. Is positioning you as a leader in that space. And what is diversity and inclusion? This refers to the wide range of human differences, including but not limited to race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, age, religion, and all of that. Embracing diversity involves recognizing, respecting, and valuing these differences, and fostering an inclusive environment where all individuals are empowered to contribute their perspective and talent, where you are encouraged, where we are encouraged, where women are encouraged to position and drive their own personality, because we understand, because we know who we are, because we have self-confidence, because I have something to bring on the table, because I know my area of expertise, because I know that I have something to offer. And that is how personal branding and inclusion, how they intersect. Next slide, please. So dive into 5 P's of personal branding. There are 5 things that I want us to understand when we speak about personal branding. It is very, very important that when we say personal branding, we understand, I think I mentioned earlier that we understand what we bring to the table. So under personal branding, the 5 P's that I have here is personal, pointed, prioritized, purposeful, and profitable. I will dive into each of these things so that we understand this 5 key areas. 1, personal. You have to unleash your authentic self. You have to showcase who you truly are. You have to showcase what you bring to the table. Personal branding is not another person. Personal branding is not Mabel trying to be Kiki. It's not Mabel trying to be Marianne. Personal branding is me unleashing my authentic self. Is me showcasing what I bring to the table. At the core of any compelling personal brand lies authenticity. These days, we can see, these days we understand the power of digital platforms. So it is important that authenticity is in whatever it is that we drive. The personal P is all about showcasing the real you. Who am I? What do I bring to the table? What value am I adding in my community? Embrace your passion, your unique perspective. In the sea of conformity, authenticity stands out. In the sea of conformity, authenticity, stands out. A lot of personal branding activities out there. There's a lot, there are a lot of platforms where people showcase a lot of things, but what stands you out is how real you are. Authenticity, that is what stands you out. Let your personal brand be a reflection of your true self, creating a genuine connection with your audience that goes beyond a mere professional facade. It goes beyond that. It should show your genuine connection in my own area, in my own field, in what I bring to the table. It is about me. It is me. It is what I do. It is the value that I have to offer. Then to sharpen your focus. A scattered personal brand lacks impact. What impact are you driving? The pointed P emphasizes the importance of focus. Define your niche. Own your skills. What am I good at? What do I know how to do? In marketing and communication, what is my area of expertise? Am I a good storyteller? Am I a brand expert? Am I an event person? Do I know how to handle crisis management? What skills do I bring to the table? And be the expert in your own chosen field. A pointed personal brand ensures that your message is clear and resonates with the right audience. I have my audience. You have your audience. Ensuring that our message resonates with our audience. That is the pointed in personal branding. A pointed personal branding. Precision is power. Sharpen your focus to cut through the noise and leave a lasting impression. To cut through the noise, there's noise everywhere. There's noise on digital platforms, there's noise on social platforms. You have to leave a lasting impression. And that lasting impression is the value that you bring on the table. As women, that impression is very, very key. That skills that we bring on the table. And the third one is prioritize. Align actions with values. My action should align with my values. Your priorities define your personal brand's character. The prioritize P encourages aligning your action with your core values. What values drives me? Is it for me to be everywhere? Or is it for me to showcase what I have to bring to the table? Aligning your action with your values. Have something to offer. Identify what matters most to you and let it shine through your brand. What matters. I've been doing PR, marketing communications for the past 15 years. And that is what I have been doing. I've been consistent with that because I am passionate about it. It drives me. For that to read, to learn everything that has to do with marketing communications, from branding to corporate communications, to restructuring, to product management, to storytelling, to content creation, to digital marketing, all of that, because it is the value that I bring on the table. Because I have identified what matters most to me and I let it shine through my brand. Whether it is sustainability, it is innovation, it is inclusivity, let your priorities guide your decision. A brand rooted in values not only attracts like-minded individuals, but also stands the test of time. A brand rooted in values not only attracts like-minded individuals, but also stands the test of time. A lot of platforms are there right now. A lot of conversations are out there. But what stands you out is your brand value. What stands you out is what you have to offer, what differentiates me from you. That is what stands us out. I hear Mabel, what can I remember? I hear Mabel, what do I know? I hear Mabel, she's good at this. I hear Mabel, this is the area that I need her on. That is what stands you out. And the fourth one is purposeful. Craft a narrative with intent. Be intentional. Be intentional about the narrative that you want to craft. Be intentional every single time. When I tell people about the way that I like writing, I personalize a lot of my writing because yes, there's so many things that we need to comment about, but if it doesn't relate with me, if I can't connect with it, I won't write about it. That is me. So I craft a narrative with intent. I am intentional with every single thing I want to write about. A purposeful personal brand is deliberate and impactful, not communicating for communicating's sake, not jumping on trends for trend's sake, not speaking because somebody somewhere is speaking, not speaking because a comms person is speaking. But I've been deliberate, and then it must be impactful for me. And over the years, over the last 15 years, I have been deliberate about this, purposeful, and ensuring that whatever narrative that I want to create, I am intentional about it. The purposeful P encourages you to craft a narrative with intent, define your mission, set your goals, and communicate your purpose in every interaction. In every interaction, let them know this is who this person is. This is what she's talking about. This is what she's driving. A purpose-driven brand not only captivates your audience, but also fuels your own motivation and resilience. It motivates you because there are a lot of distraction out there. There are a lot of distraction to jump on something, to jump on trend, to move from a particular narrative, a particular trend. There's a lot of that happening out there. But what drives you is the purpose. It motivates you. Every post, every project or partnership should contribute to the larger story you are telling. Everything that you engage in, every action that you take, every project that you engage in, every partnership that you engage in must contribute to that larger story that you are telling. What story do I want to tell? How do I want to be perceived? What personal branding am I building for myself? Then every action that I take, every project, every partnership that I engage in must contribute to that. And the fifth one is profitable. Leverage your personal brand for success. It is very important. While personal branding is not solely about financial gain, the profit P acknowledges that a well-crafted personal brand can open doors to opportunities. Yes, it can open doors to opportunities, but remember the other 4 Ps. It must be purposeful. You must prioritize it. There must be something that you bring on the table. It is about you. Whether it is career advancement, collaboration, or entrepreneurship ventures, leverage your personal brand strategically. You must be strategic about it so that you're not seeing not just everywhere. You must know what profits does this. And when I talk about profit, it's not financial profit alone, down to networking, that kind of people that you have in your circle. Position yourself as a valuable asset. You can only position yourself as a valuable asset when you have something that you're offering. These days, people who want friends, want colleagues, want friends who have something to offer. And it's not about financial offering. It is how do I work with you? How do you help me? How do you what can I benefit from you? What value do you have to bring to table in my career, in my life? And what do I have to offer you also? In the realm of personal branding, the 5 Ps are your guiding stars. I have used it over 15 years, and it has worked for me. It is important to embrace the journey of self-discovery. Remember when I was talking about self-confidence? So it is important to understand and embrace the journey of self-discovery. Be intentional in your action and watch as your personal brand will transform into a powerful force that leaves a lasting impact, both in your personal and your professional life. When you're intentional, when you have something to offer, when you're deliberate, when there is value, you will see the impact of personal branding in your personal life and in your professional life. Your brand is your legacy. Make it personal. Make it pointed. Make it prioritize it, and it must be purposeful. And yes, it must be profitable. Those 5 Ps, they are very, very important. Your brand is your legacy. Next slide, please. Now we will look into the intersection of personal branding and inclusion. We've spoken about personal branding, we've spoken about inclusion, we've spoken about the 5 Ps, and now how do they intersect? When personal branding and inclusion intersect, the result is more powerful, it is authentic, and it is compelling. The narrative is compelling. And I've tried to capture this in 5 points. The 5 points is authenticity, differentiation, expanded network, empathy and cultural competence, social impact. Those 5 things, when personal branding and inclusion, when they intersect, you will see these five things. Authenticity. Inclusivity encourages individuals to embrace their authentic self. You must be able to embrace who you are, what I have to offer. If truly we are driving gender inclusion, then authenticity must be there. We must be true to ourselves. Personal branding based on authenticity foster trust and resonance with diverse audiences. As people connect more deeply with individuals who openly express their true identities. People connect openly and deeply with people who express their true identity, because I know who you are, because I know your area of expertise, because I know what you bring to the table, because I know, yes, this is who this person is. This is what she's good at. This is how I can engage her. This is how I can relate with her. And that helps when we talk about gender inclusion. Differentiation. Diversity amplifies the uniqueness of personal branding because we are different. I am not you, you're not me. By acknowledging and highlighting various aspects of our background and experiences, individuals stand out in crowded landscape. By identifying who you are, who I am, I will stand out, you will stand out. We will stand out in our own area of expertise. We will, because I am different. What I bring to the table is not what you bring to the table. Your background... My time is almost up, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. We're having 3 minutes more. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Expanded network. Engaging with diverse communities broaden personal network. When we enable individuals to connect with people from different walks of life, this expands our reach, enriches the insight, and opens doors to new opportunities for them. Empathy and culture competences. We need to celebrate inclusivity, enhances empathies and cultural competences. These qualities are vital for effective communication and collaboration. Social impact. A personal brand that champions diversity can drive positive social change. Influential personal brands have the potential to use their platforms to advocate for equality, challenge biases, and promote understanding. The next slide, I will just run through it. The role of personal branding in gender inclusion. What is this role? Personal branding is powerful tool for promoting gender inclusion as it allows individuals to showcase their unique identities, experiences, and perspective, amplifying diverse voices, helps in showcasing diverse experiences, creating role models, building inclusive network, enhancing representation in various fields, challenging stereotypes, advocating for diversity and inclusion, leveraging social media and online presence, partnering with diverse organizations, promoting cultural change. Personal branding encourages individuals to share their cultural heritage. This exchange of ideas and tradition can foster cross-cultural understanding and appreciation. In conclusion, I'm going to leave you with 3 points. 3 points that I'm going to leave you with on the role of personal branding and gender inclusion. One is to effectively use personal branding for gender inclusion. Individuals must focus on authenticity, consistency, and aligning your brand with positive values. Number 2, it is essential to be genuine, share personal stories, and engage with diverse audience to create meaningful connection. And the last one is you must advocate for diversity and gender inclusion through one's personal brand. And this must be done with sensitivity and empathy, keeping in mind that these experiences, and perspective of others. These 3 things are very, very important. Authenticity, consistency, aligning your brand with your values, and ensuring that you create meaningful connection, understanding individual sensitivity. This would go a long way to drive our personal branding. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness, guys, what are you doing in the comment section? Come on now, come on now, come on now, come on. Thank you so very much, man. What a fantastic, I love, the best part for me was the 5 P's. First of all, even the slide alone, we could sit there for the whole session, but on just the 5 P's. Very fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry that we had to okay, hurry up, but still, this is a what would I call it now? It's a treasure for us because we'll always go back, sit down, listen to it over and over again until we get those 5 P's. And I think it's very, very important. And I love that you kept saying you have used it for the past 15 years and it has worked for you. So this is proven. It is tested and proven that when we follow that framework, we're definitely going to build a lasting, meaningful, authentic personal brand. Thank you so very much. We are so grateful. I know there are a lot of questions that will come in for you, but definitely the team is going to get in touch to take our questions to you and come to the back door so that you can answer the questions and we can distribute the answers to the community. But still, if you're able to still hang around, that would be great. After the all speakers, we can just have a quick panel session before we say goodbye today. But thank you. The comments are coming in. Thank you for a fantastic session. God bless you, ma'am. Thank you so very much. Awesome, guys. You guys are amazing. I celebrate every single one of you who is here in the room, commenting, engaging. You are the real MVP, and I celebrate you. Now we have 2 more sessions, 2 more powerful sessions to go. And I am so excited for all the value that has been dropping for us in this conference today. Our next speaker is going to be talking about how to access finance. How access to finance drives career growth. Come in now. Money is very important. That money is very important. This next session, they want to show you where the money is. How to access the money. Go and call everybody that went to go and cook beans. Everybody that went to the toilet, tell them break is over. Come back here. Let us show you where the money is. And our speaker for this topic is not other than Etemore Glover, who is a seasoned development expert with diverse background in investment banking, philanthropy, and NGO management. She specializes in problem solving, sustainability consulting, and training on SDG impact standards. With a focus on women and youth empowerment, Etemore excels in developing capacity building programs and preparing MSMEs for investment. That is you and I, like we are micro. Well, for those of us who are just starting, whether you're in the middle or not, that's also, please get your friends to be here now. As CEO of the Impact Investors Foundation and a board member of foundations like Green Earth and Prosperity, she's committed to impactful initiatives. Outside of work, Etemore volunteers at time supporting young girls' development and enjoys reading, networking, and learning new languages. Ladies and gentlemen, put your virtual hands together as I bring up on stage Etemore Glover. Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Can you see me?
We can see you and we can hear you clearly. First of all, let me say thank you. I know you've been here from the very beginning, and see, we do not take it for granted because we know you're a very busy person. So for you to be here and to be here sitting and listening to all the speakers from 1 to now, it is no joke. We do not take it for granted. We celebrate you. We honor you. I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much.
It is my pleasure. Thank you very much for having me. I also want to be part of the beneficiary, because one thing that we do as speakers is that we just come in and speak and go. But it's also an opportunity to improve yourself because we don't know everything, do we?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Ma'am, the stage is yours. So the next time I pop up, it's just a signal to say, let's begin to wrap it up. Thank you so very much. God bless you. Have
Please
a fantastic
confirm
session.
before you go
Okay.
if my slides will be shared, or do I share my slides? So
I think your slides, your slide is here.
awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. The stage is yours.
All right. Thank you very much, energetic EJ, for the introduction, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my singular honor to be here. I'd like to congratulate the convener, Miss Kiki Okewole, for putting together this fantastic conference. I was here to learn. I'm also here to speak to. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there and the intended mothers, and happy International Women's Day to all the women across the world and the women who will be watching this video and those currently watching now. My name is Etemere Glover, already introduced. My passion is how I can unlock capital for more impactful investments, and gender is a big part of our work. How can more women access finance? And access to finance creates opportunities for women. And this time we are looking at how finance drives career growth. So let's get to the next slide. And then we want to paint a picture for you to see that we as women need to know the very important role that we have. We are 50% of the population in Nigeria, making Nigeria the country with the largest population of women on the continent. However, we have several constraints that really puts us in a place where we need to not only fight, but to assert ourselves to take opportunities. 44.7% of us are living in extreme poverty, which reduces opportunities for us to, options like access to healthcare, access to, basic amenities that people take for granted within the country and even outside Nigeria. Things like financial inclusion, 36% of women are financially excluded. So you can see that the opportunities for us are slim. In a recent report I read, 90%, in fact, 98% of women lack access to formal credit. So it's a dire position for us as women to be in. But what can we do? Let's go to the next slide, and what today we'll be focusing on. So it is intended for us to look at, what opportunities or access to finance can do for us as women, right? We want the option, of having finance to improve our homes, to invest, in families, in their healthcare, and even for ourselves, for skills development, education, or even as business. I circled the portion in red, one, because even when we have access to finance, and I want some amen here, the first thing as women we do is to think about, our children, our husbands, buy clothes for kids, let's do some home improvements. We often tend to leave ourselves last. If we are going to be honest, we are first of all dealing with, responsibilities that are not direct investment in our personal growth. Whereas opportunities like going back to school is not always on the top burner. Investing in conferences, investing in networking opportunities, skills development are not things that we intentionally have to do. So today is to help us as women, right, to start shifting our minds. I want to appreciate every speaker that came on before me, because they just paved the stage so that we can start changing ourselves, having a mind shift to be intentional about becoming women of value. And that starts with intentionally investing for growth, personal development, career growth. So let's go to the next slide. Next slide. So today we're going to look at how finance can propel us in our career, move it forward, and also we'll look at some strategies to help us to obtain financial resources. Next slide. And this is really key because we all know that resources are not in abundance, right? Resources are scarce, but how do we get these resources to help us get to the level in our careers and personal growth, you know? I don't know how many of you have ever heard of student loan or have accessed student loans in Nigeria, scholarship or grants to go to school. If you have, please just put yes in the chat so I know who I'm speaking with. If you have, please just put yes, I have accessed scholarship, student loan, or grants to go to school. Maybe you're postgraduate, maybe you're for your children. If you haven't, please just put no. So I tend to know who is in the room and who is listening. Yes, you have. Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you. I've got one. Yes, I have. And that's one option that we can consider should we want to advance our career. Oh, Kiki says no, she hasn't. That's fine. I'll tell you my personal story, how I was able to intentionally access, you know, scholarship and grants to go back to school, because sometimes it is really expensive for us to go to the kind of school we want to go to, and particularly for C-suite executives like myself, or people who are intending to be C-suite executive, that is CEO, chief investment officer, chief operating officers. If you want to get to that level in your career and even beyond, you want to start asking yourself, what kind of professional education do I require to, you know, advance myself, to be recognized? Don't forget, it's also about intentionally building your brand, right? Sometimes we are not able to invest or have the finances to build the right brand. So we want to ask ourselves, what are the options available for us to build that brand? And education, or having the right education, is also one of the ways we can build that very strong brand for ourselves. I know people who intentionally want to go to Harvard, right? And the opportunity that a school like Harvard or Oxford University or Cambridge, you know, or post-educate or executive programs in those kind of schools, even Lagos business schools, can do for your career. One, it gives you the visibility around a network of people who are like-minded, or people in your career who have access to so much opportunities. So the first thing an executive will want to do to get global visibility is, which university or which school should I go to get a global executive program that can give me, you know, the network, that can give me opportunities that I would not ordinarily get. You wouldn't want to, at some level, go to a university like, let's say, let me not call names, so I don't really want to put any school in the, maybe one backside university in Ondo State to do your master's or your MBA. You don't want to go there. If you think, or if you're intending to be a global citizen, a global worker that can work any country in any part of the world. So then accessing loans or scholarship or grants may be something you can consider, should you not have that kind of investment. Also, again, another thing is personal loans, having a credit line. So for personal loans, one thing I do is working with, I try and identify banks to bank with. Not every bank is a good bank. Let's just admit that. Some banks do not give you credit lines, they don't give you personal loans. So you want to ask the right question. If you are interested in providing me with facilities, should I need that facility? Not many Nigerian banks do that, but one of the banks I use do provide me facilities when I needed those facilities. Now I'm much grown in my career, I really don't need to go there, but those are the kind of conversations you want to have. And then negotiate with your bank. What opportunities do you have for a young person like me to support me in my career, to support me in my education, etc. Let's go to the next slide. So these are some examples of institutions, foundations that you can approach for loans, sponsorship and grants. Sample Foundation is one that provides, postgraduate studies to Niger Deltans. They want to expand throughout the country, but now they're focusing on Niger Deltans. Now there's the MOD Education, which is a great platform that provides all sorts of resources to individuals that want to have, opportunities for a postgraduate education, even your first degree as well. They give up to 10 million naira, but they focus on specific institutions outside Nigeria and also in Nigeria that you can have loans, to go to school. Then there's Shell Foundation. They have lots of, sponsorships, scholarships that they provide. Access Bank has education loans. Lapo Microfinance up to 200 naira, but it's usually for primary and secondary education to parents. Then Wema Bank has some of these facilities, for you. If you want to go to school, please check out one of, and so many others. These are just a few for us to start thinking about. You can actually access grants. You can actually access, some kind of funds and financing to go back to school. So let's check the next slide. The next slide speaks to entrepreneurs. If you're an entrepreneur, cash is king. Cash can be used as working capital to help you finance and to pay your operational costs. And also access to cash can help you scale. But we know that access to finance is usually a challenge for MSMEs, whether you're female-led or not female-led. So as a small business owner and you're led by a woman, what are some ways in which you can get access to finance to scale your business or to just keep yourself a going concern? Bootstrapping is one example. That is from your sales. You can also get financing from angel investors. Also, it depends on the life cycle your business is in. You want to go to family and friends. If you're a young business, you want to bootstrap from your sales. You want to go to angel investors. You want to have access to grants to help you scale up to a point where you need venture capitalist funds and private equity funds to help you grow. Now, there's something really, really, really nice, and that is where financing or technology comes in, which is crowdfunding platforms. Many of them are coming up. So with crowdfunding is pulling the power of people from diverse platforms to bring resources, retail resources or retail funds to help you fund your business ideas. There's so many now in Nigeria. There's the Farm Crowdy focusing on agriculture. There's the Kickstarters. There's a Quick Fund, and so many coming. There's GoFundMe. You want to check these platforms out as a small business and take advantage of the opportunities to kickstart your ventures to become profitable. Let's go to the next slide. All right, these are some examples of platforms where you can go to receive financing. We've all heard of Tony Elumelu providing finance to social innovators across the continent. There's the Acumen, which is 100% impact fund, but you must have reached a certain size. They also fund innovative ideas sometimes. So if you're at ideation stage, you must have some basic criteria that they ask for. There's the SME NG platform, which is for women. An SME NG platform provides some kind of accelerator support to help you get started, and then you go through their program, and then they position you to access finance directly from themselves by through their own platform financing framework or through other investors that they're partnering with. Then there's the Sarah by Wema Bank, Lagos State Employment Trust Funds. They have single-digit loans up to 5 million for your business, and Bank of Industry to provide single-digit loans through various directly to the fund directly or through partners. So let's go to the next slide. I mean, there are several others, but this is just for you to see and start juggling your mind, which is best suited for me, and that will also involve some level of research. So then, talking about financial support for career advancement, so many women, one problem with women is that sometimes we do not network, or we are not intentional about networking. We've just heard here today that we must network and we must invest in it, right? Some people men go as far as traveling miles and miles outside Nigeria to go and network to create opportunities. But when sometimes we look at our bank account and say, okay, look, we don't find value in investing in network. And I'm glad that platforms like this is bringing women together to network. So please, let's be intentional about networking for this. Let's also be intentional about investing in professional development. There are also free platforms online like Coursera, Udemy, and so many of them. And sometimes they are just minute fee we have to pay to get some kind of professional certification. So we need to be very intentional about, going to such platform and exploring what opportunities lie out there. Then the mentorship programs, structured mentorship programs that you can also take, and even coaching. I know that there are several coaches available in Nigeria. I really don't want to do free publicity. They've not paid for in this platform, so I don't want to do that. Please, let's research and get some of them. Some are expensive, so some are not too expensive. But it's important that you have somebody out there who points you out in the right direction to go. You don't want to make some certain mistakes. You want to identify one person who through their career trajectory have learned some valuable lessons through failures, through successes. I want to take out like a year or 2 or 5 years to bring 30 years together, compressed, to help you to scale, to accelerate. You want to invest in such a relationship to help you advance your career. So we're looking at both financial and non-financial, and the non-financial aspects are the quality, the coaching, the mentoring, but sometimes it also has a cost implication, which is where you need to source investment to invest in those opportunities. So also it's important to look at, okay, my personal saving plan. If you used to go out to eat 50 naira meal every now and then, maybe once a week or twice a week, do you want to maybe reduce that to see how that can be, channeled towards your personal career investment, right? And then you want to speak to a career advisor or financial advisor. It's not cheap, right? But it's important that you have some kind of support to help you on this path towards your career development. Let's go to the next slide. So I'll just quickly talk about my own personal story, right? Similar to some of us here, starting out in life, going to primary, secondary, university, and my parents were paying my school fees. I went to Federal Home Science Association Primary School in Ikoyi in Lagos. I don't know how many of us know that school. My school fees at the time, I was privileged to look at it many years later, was like 300 naira. But that was huge investments to my parents at that time, right? When I was in secondary school, I went to a federal government school. My school fees was almost next to nothing. But by university, I found out that what I was paying for my school fees in university was far cheaper than what my parents paid in primary school so many years earlier. So I realized that my parents invested so much in my primary education to give me a great foundation. Thank God for that. However, by the time I finished, started working, I saw so many opportunities. I looked at the CVs of people I wanted to be in the banking industry and asked myself, which schools did they go to? How should I position myself for the next level? What did I need to do? So I registered for courses like ICANN, Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and Chartered Institute of Bankers, right? So that I could get promoted. And then I used my personal funds to go through those professional examinations. Then I knew there was a gap. I needed a postgraduate certificate to get to middle management level and some executive program. So I knew I went to my office for an office loan. So many of us here can approach our offices to ask for loans. So I got a loan from my office for an executive program. Then when I wanted to transit from the banking to the nonprofit sector, there was a huge gap. I didn't know anything about nonprofit. It was great to give back to the society. It was great to be altruistic. I'd made a lot of money in the banking sector, so it was time to give back, but I didn't have any skills at all. So what I did was I got a grant from one of those big foreign foundation, and I got education from Lagos Business School, and then I got another one from University of East London. So I got, grants to help me as well in my career. So just giving you an idea that at any stage, at any age in your time, you can pause, to ask yourself, where can I get sources? Some from my personal investments, some from others. So let's look at the next slide. And just to wrap up in general. So please, we need to research. I've given us just some tidbits of places and pointers of where to go, but you need to research who is giving grants. Am I, qualified for this grants? Who do I need to go to? Then for those who live outside Nigeria, even those who live in Nigeria too, you need to start thinking about your history. For us, for people living here in the UK, credit history, if you don't have one, you can't even approach your bank. And sometimes your bank will not even give you money if they've not been seeing the in and out. So you need to be intentional in terms of, putting money in and out, and then asking, your bank to give you a loan for whatever you need the loan for. So in conclusion, right, access to finance is really key. Money is key. Cash is king. We've heard that before. So for you to advance your career, you need to know that I have to intentionally get the right kind of funding, make the right kind of investment to help me scale and become, that woman of destiny, women heading sectors and taking over your field. But we must realize that we must do so intentionally, build our brand, invest in ourselves, and what the world becomes our oyster. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to me. I hope that we'll be able to implement what I've said. Thank you. Over to you, delectable, energetic EJ. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I know we're pressed for time, but even your slides alone has given a lot of information. And I believe that when we go back to sit down and watch the replays, we're definitely going to get more out of it. One thing that jumped at me the most is the options that are available. And we just don't know. And I love how you mentioned that, the build up of the session so far, it feels like those others, the session that came before yours, came to clear the cobweb in the room. To say, first of all, I'm not going to be tied to a chair. And because the chair doesn't have the capacity to hold me down, right? And now we're to this point where we know that, oh my God, there are so many, I can't even believe it. You didn't have to leave Nigeria to get all these opportunities. At least even though you had to go outside to further, your postgraduate, but at least you started from within to even ask for the help, to seek it. Because again, if you seek it, you will find it. But most of us are too scared to even think about it. Thinking about it is even you're asking for too much. I showed you. Don't overdo. So thank you so much for opening us up to this. Even where we are, there are opportunities. Think about the bootstrapping. Think about the GoFundMe, right? And we do these things for things that we don't even need it for. If you want to do party now, you know how to crowdfund. But when it is time to do your business, you can't even talk. So thank you so much for opening us up to that. We really appreciate you. And thank you for being a part of this conversation from the beginning up until now. I really do appreciate it. God bless you, ma. Thank you so very much. Again, we said the questions are going to come in. We're going to come for you, but don't go. We're still going to bring you back up in a short while from now as we round off the session. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Awesome, guys. When you talk about inclusion, how can you talk about inclusion if you're not being inclusive? No. So our final speaker for the day is just, it's amazing, to see, whether it's a male conference and a woman is there. I know that there's still the equality and everything, but sometimes if it is themed around a particular gender and you see the opposite gender being supportive, it's also something worth celebrating. Our final speaker for the day, our final guest for the day is Dr. Kole A. Shettima, who serves as the director of the Africa office of the foundation in Abuja, Nigeria. He oversees grant making in population and reproductive health, human rights, girls' education, higher education, and accountability. Before joining the foundation in 1999, Shettima taught at universities in Nigeria, Canada, and the USA. He has held various leadership roles in organizations promoting economic justice and democracy in Africa. Shettima holds a PhD from the University of Toronto, a master's degree from Ahmadu Bello University, and an undergraduate degree from the University of Maiduguri. He's also on the board of several organizations, including the Center for Democracy and Development. It is such a pleasure to have him in the room today to come talk about his voice, her cause, bridging perspective for gender inclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, in the comments, let me see your emojis wherever you're watching from, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. Please put your hands together as I bring up on stage Dr. Kole A. Shettima. Doctor, are you ready for us? We're going to quickly, I think Doctor is having a little bit of glitch, so we're gonna fix that while we're quickly fixing that for us to bring him up on stage. Let me feel your pause in the room. For those of you who can chat on Instagram, I know you can chat as well. So on Instagram, if you've been here, whether you joined right now or you've been here all along, just type for me in the comment section, what is one thing that has jumped at you, that has hugged you, and that you're going away with? Let me know in the comment section from all the sessions. If you've been here with us from all the sessions, drop it. If not, wherever you joined us, I know for sure that something dropped for you. One form of value dropped for you. So please drop it in the comment section for me while we quickly fix the technical issues that is having. I'm waiting for your comments. Hello, anybody there in the comment section? You are the value yourself. I love it. Please, Facebook user, let us know your name now so that I can holler at you. You are the value yourself. I love that. I am the value. This is one of the things that has jumped at people the most. You on Instagram, what is your takeaway? What is something that has jumped at you from the session so far? Let us know. Somebody says I'm the value. Somebody on YouTube says being intentional about personal branding. This is what Maria Etemere Glover is taking away from this session. Be intentional, be intentional, be intentional about your personal branding. Absolutely, absolutely fantastic. Please keep the feedback coming. See, this is you not collect gate fee. We didn't collect gate fee when you're coming. So this is the gate fee now. This is how you're going to appreciate us. Let us know feedback before we send you another feedback form via email. Drop some in the comments right now. What has jumped at you from this session? Somebody says be intentional. Absolutely be intentional. P. Kumba Design says, be intentional about building my brand to help empower others. I love that. That's more like a mixture of personal branding and empathy. I love it, love it, love it. Do we have any more? Okay, I see some on Instagram. And the Prolific Woman Conference says, be authentic about your brand. Like, you see, every other person is taken. Be you, be yourself, be authentic. I love it. My Lily Perfumery says we have to be intentional about networking. That is very, very, very important. We have to be intentional about it. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for all your responses. We have Dr. Shettima in the room now. Hello, Doctor. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, energetic EJ, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. We can't see you yet. Is that intentional?
No. I mute my start but I don't know why it's not showing.
Okay. We can hear you. We can still hear you, but I think maybe your webcam is probably not activated.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not sure. Okay. How about now?
Yay! We see you now, sir.
Good. Thank you for being my IT support as well.
No problem. We're happy to have you here. Thank you so much for availing yourself to be here. We are honored to have you. The stage is yours for the next 20 minutes. If you see me pop up again, it's just me saying it's almost time. Let's wrap it up. Thank you so very much. The stage is yours, sir.
Thank you very much, Energetic EJ, and I'm very happy, very excited to be at this conference. I listened to some parts of the conversations, and which makes me feel like, okay, am I actually in the right place? Because I think that the previous presentation by Etimo and others have been more specific in really, I would say, empowering the audience in terms of taking specific things that they can actually do in order to improve their lives and to make a very successful life as well. So, but I'm very happy, and thank you, Kiki, and the team at the organization for inviting me to this meeting. Of course, all of us are celebrating the International Women's Day, which is investing in women, about accelerating progress. And I think that this topic that have been the theme for this conversation, which is around breaking barriers and building bridges. I think I am very honored to be part of this breaking of the barriers and building bridges. I think that as many of you have also stated in certain ways, and certainly Energetic EJ have said that, you did mention about the need to bring men into this conversation. I think this is very critical and very important conversation that we should have. But I think that as we are also celebrating today, I'm sure that we are also remembering some of the sad moments in the history of women, in the history of our country. I think that 2014, just April of 2014, we all remember what happened in Chibok when about 300 of our daughters were carried away. We remember the several other abdications that have happened. Of course, the most recent one in Kaduna, the Federal University of Gusau, the one has happened in Dusama, the ones that have happened also recently in Gala, at the border with Nigeria and Niger, and Chad, and also the other ones that have happened all over the country. So I think that as we are celebrating and rightly so, appreciating all the success that we have, I think it is also important for us to bear in mind that a number of our sisters, our mothers, our daughters, and of course our sons as well, whether it's in Dapchi in 2018 and other places, gone through terrible experiences that I think we should all bear in mind as to why we are doing this as well. Clearly, I think that for us as men in this conversation, I think we should be part of the conversation. We should be part of the conversation because I think that on many occasions when we talk about women issues, I think that to me, sometimes we are talking to the combated. We usually have women in the audience, and we also give responsibilities to the women as if it is something that women have just gone out of their way to embrace it as if this is their responsibility. So I think that having men breaking the barriers and bringing the bridge down, building the bridges, I think to me is telling us that we should not women alone to bear the burden that they have been bearing over the centuries and over the centuries of our history and other things, and that men have a number of reasons why they should be part of this conversation. One, of course, the reality that is an unjust, unfair situation to leave the burden of all the problems and challenges our society is facing on one group of people in our society, whether they are men, whether it is women, or whoever is, facing those problems. I think that it is unfair for us to do that one, and therefore we have a responsibility as men to be part of it as well. So I think that it is a call. I think what the theme I've been asked to talk about is really a call for us to question our privileges. We as men have several privileges. There are privileges that sometimes, we are not very conscious about that. But I think that as we reflect on what is happening to us, we know that, these are privileges that, we have as men. The realities of, for example, making a number of choices that our parents are making, either in sending us to school. For one, I remember when I was about to go to secondary school, like 5 kilometers or certainly less than 10 kilometers from the border with Niger. I think one of the distinctive thing that I remember was my parents' conversation that, well, since he's a man, he's not a woman, I think that there's no reason why he should not go to school. Certainly, if it were my sister, I think that the conversation would have been different. So I think that is the kind of privilege that we have. And my parents made those comments and other things, not necessarily because they were doing this as individuals, but I think it is a collective society of the patriarchal privileges and patriarchal norms that prevail in our society that places more value for men's education than women. That was why my parents made those decisions. So it's not really, I am not saying this because I hold them individually responsible, but I understand that, that was the norms in our society, in our community, and they were just expressing those norms and values at that time that probably, I should go to school. But if it were my sister, probably, my sister would not have gone to school, and other things. So I think that we as men, realize the privilege that we have, the power that we have in determining so many, many things. And that's why I think that we have to then question our own biases. And I think that sometimes, we think or we claim that we don't have our biases, but, always, people make decisions, and unconsciously or consciously, they also work on their own, their unconscious biases that they walk and talk and other things, whether in terms of the kind of friendship that we develop, whether in terms of the assignment that we assign to people at home or in office space and other things. We are all being grounded in certain values, in terms of norms, in terms of so many things that we have as a people and other things. So that is what really makes us to do what we do and other things, and that therefore realizing our own power and our unconscious biases that we have, I think is central to the reason why we as men should be. So it also means that appreciating that our power also means we also appreciate that we have more responsibilities than women to do the right thing. I think that to acknowledge that we have our powers, our biases, and that to acknowledge that we have our privileges, I think to me is one of the first steps that we have to take to appreciate those ones. And then we need to act on those biases and acknowledgement and say, yes, we have been disproportionately been privileged in our society. We have been either in terms of power, political power, whether in terms of economic power, in terms of cultural power, and societal power and social capital. We have all those privileges. Therefore, I think it is our responsibilities as men to acknowledge those powers and privileges and then use them in order to advance the cause of women that we have. So I think that is, to me, is the appropriate role that men should play. Use our own power, our authority, knowledge, experiences, and other things, acknowledge them, and then use those privileges in order to say, okay, how then can we, I don't want to use a tone, but how can we then turn that into the other direction and support that the cause of women in any ways that we do. Now, in supporting the cause of women, I think that it is not about pity, it's not about charity. I think it's about rights of people in our society. I think that, Maria Etimo mentioned about the population of our country, about, we are 50%, both men and women, which I think is important and is better to acknowledge. But I think one of the things that we also have to acknowledge that Nigeria is one of the few countries where there are more men than women. And we have to ask the question, but that is not the global trend. The global trend is actually the other direction. So we have to ask, what is it that we are doing that is where our women are not more than the men that we have in our society. So, but even if we assume that, even we take the figures that we have in about 50-50, which is the case, then how do we then ensure that the 50% of our population are not left behind? One, they have their rights that have been, they have their rights that we have to ensure that those rights are enshrined in our system, also realized and appreciated. And I think at the same time that we don't also ridicule when women say that this is our right and our thing. So I hear on many platforms and other people, and big people, once women begin to say something, they will say Beijing. Beijing, gender equality and other things. They are doing that not because really they necessarily believe in any of those things. They are doing it as to ridicule it and to really lessen the value of what gender equality is all about and other things. And I think that as we are all fighting for gender equality and other things, I think we should also be paying a lot of attention to equity, because that is the most important, I think, struggle that we have to do. Now, fighting for equity, I think, acknowledges the historical disadvantage that women have gone through. So, for example, I think the simplest way to appreciate equity and differentiate it from equality is just having a 100-meter dash, and then you have somebody who is whose leg is tied down, and the other one has, all their legs, straightened, and then you say that, okay, it is now time for you to have a 100-meter dash. Obviously, the person whose leg have been tied down will be less competitive than the person who has their legs. So, and that is where I think that, so for me, I think that women in our societies have their own legs, one of their legs down, tied down, and then we expect them, oh yeah, we should have a 100-meter dash, and that whoever comes out a bit wins the race. So historically, I think that women have been underprivileged and been given not the rights, didn't have the opportunity to do what they are supposed to do. So equity, I think, is critical, and that's why we should not just be thinking about equality. Equality, I think, is only when you have reached a stage of equity that you can really talk about equality, because when you are not in the same condition, you are not in the same situation, you are not have the same privileges, and then people say that, oh, they want to treat you equally. Obviously, they are not being fair to the system that we have and other things. So I think equity is critical and very important in whatever we do, and try to make sure that, we give people who have been historically excluded to be given more opportunities, better opportunities, so that they can compete better and equally with all the other men who are in our society and other things. So fighting their cause, yes, but it's also in some ways also, I think, fighting my own cause as well. Because I don't think that I can claim to be full human being and to say that I'm potentially a good person, if on the other hand, I am not also being able to recognize that the successes, my own successes, sometimes also depending on the successes of other people in society. So it is their cause, but it's also my own cause. It is my own cause to have a better society where all the opportunities, all the privileges are also given to other students, so that I can also fully have the same opportunities and privileges and also enjoy what is given to me. So what I'm struggling to explain is that supporting the cause of women in our society in some ways is their cause, but actually it's also my own cause. Because for my own society to be better, for my own society to realize its own full potentiality, for me to enjoy being who I am, my own society being what it is, it also hinges on the ability and the opportunity and the other things of other people also being able to, be who they are and other things as well. So I think that the simple, suggestion given by our sister is about Etimo's suggestion about how many women have access to capital and other things. If these women don't have the capital to grow our economy, to make it better and other things, I'm going to be in that same society with the women as well. So which means that actually I'm not likely to enjoy the best benefits of what will likely to come just because they don't have it. So it is their cause, but at the end of the day, it's also my own cause. So I think that I have to also recognize that the progress of my own society also depend on my own progress, depend upon to what extent other women are also given the opportunity to do it. So let me wrap up, as now that I see energetic EJ online, by saying that I think that at the MacArthur Foundation, I think that we strongly believe on gender and social inclusion. This is critical and very important to the work we do. We try to, support all the good cause that we can within the realm and understanding of what we do and other things. I'm very happy that for us to be one of the first people to support organizations like, Women Radio. We think this is critical, very important voice that has to be there. We're very happy to be there to support, organizations like Braveheart in Igara. A place, a young woman, Priscilla, who have been, fighting against rape and violence against women and other things. They are the real heroes who have really been doing great work. So all the things that we can do as funders and supporters is really to support this, because they are already doing the work. So what we do is just a little bit of push to make them to realize the dream of a society where we as men and women see that we need to build the bridges and we want to break the barriers so that our society is better for all of us. Thank you very much.
I was just so enjoying what you were saying about, equality and equity, that I just had to, I looked at the time, it's not yet, it's like you're not done yet, but I just feel like somebody here that is watching right now has a question burning, and I want to take just one question for this session, and then the rest questions we go we're going to receive them, send them in, because the team is taking note of all the questions you're dropping since, and we're going to collate them and send each one to the different speakers, get the answers back to you via email. But I just have a feeling that there's somebody here watching and saying, oh yes, this is what we want to hear, right? And honestly, somebody's like, I'm totally carried away. Absolutely. So if there's one person here who has a question, I want to give you an opportunity to ask quickly, Dr. Shettima, before I bring on all our speakers that are still in the house, for a final word from them, and just, kind of having a quick, what we call it now, like a conversation quickly, because we can't take questions right now. Like I said, just send in your questions and we're going to take it further from here. But I want one person to ask Dr. Shettima a question. Oh, okay. It's already on the screen. All right. Facebook user, I don't know. I wish you put your name. Just type your name so that I can call your name now. It says, Doctor, how can we make the movement more inclusive? Like, how can more men join this initiative of equality and equity?
Thank you very much. I think that for me, I think where we start is, for all of us to decide that, we will be part of the movement and organizations that will support any activity, anything that will bring about equity and equality in our society. During my university days, I was privileged to be part of an organization which was called Women in Nigeria. An organization that brought together, I think it was founded in 1982, 83. That was when it was established. And the goal was that, the slogan of the one is that, it's something along the line of, our society is a patriarchal society, and we know that women are the one that bear the burden, and therefore it's our responsibility to support women groups and organizations and other things. I think this is critical and very important. But also, men can also establish an organization if they want, in order to support women cause. I think that is also possible for men to do that, as long as we also realize that we have privileges, and therefore we as men are privileged and not necessarily to take over, so to speak, the cause of women, and to think that we are the one who have to lead that struggle and other things. So I think that certainly, in many ways we can do that. And I think a lot of it is that even within our neighborhood, within our community, we can to do that one. And I think that, a lot of people in this country are doing so many things that we don't realize that they are doing it in their own villages, in their communities, in their own neighborhoods. So be part of the organization in your own community. Promote women's rights and organizations. When you see something that is wrong, that is being said by somebody, especially by men, correct them. That is not the way to go about it. Bring the young women in your community and other things, talk to them, have a conversation with them, work with other men, work with other women organizations. And I'm sure that, we, as all of us are doing that, will lead it to a bigger change in our society. Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic answer there. Thank you so much, Doctor. I'm going to leave you on stage and I'm going to invite the other speakers that are still in the room. No, please don't turn off your video. You're still here with us. Just a quick word from you, sir. Our convener, I see Madam Kiki is still in the room. Madam Folake Shoeton, are you still here? Etemere Glover, are you still here? I would love to bring all our remaining speakers on the stage quickly for almost like our final words. I mean, we've shared all these different perspectives that would help women grow from where they are to where they ought to be. What are our final words and things like that we want us to just speak to quickly before we call it a day, an evening, a night, and so forth and so on? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Madam Folake is back as well. Okay, I'm going to bring her up on stage. All right. Thank you so much. Yes. So we've said all these amazing things, from the very first session, with believing in ourselves, embracing our own ambition, to networking, to empathy, to accessing finance, to seeing it, believing it, and speaking it, and now to equality, and equity. As we round off this session, I just want us to have that final conversation as a whole. What is one last thing that you want to ring a bell in the ears or in the hearts of anyone who has connected right now live here, or who is going to watch the replays later on? We can take it in any order, and then this session will be rounded off with a thank you from the convener of this conference. Yes, so I would say ladies first. So shall I call a name? Okay, Madam Folake, if you're okay with that, you can help us. What will be your final word from the session tonight? You've been here from the beginning, and we really do appreciate you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, first, thank you very much. I would say this was a very enriching session, and I took out a lot of things, and I'm very glad I did this. I was a part of this. So I want to first say thank you to the convener of this conference and for giving it for free. I think you've made a difference and you've impacted. So thank you. Thank you also to all the different speakers, the people that are here. I know I'm not the convener, but I'm saying thank you because I'm very big on gratitude, because you have impacted. Thank you. And so for me, I'm just going to still stick to what I spoke to. I would say, I think empathy matters in every area of our life. And I think we all need to see each other to bring out the full potential in others. I think most people need to have their specialness, I would say, reflected back in the eyes of others. That's the truth. And as such, I would like to say that this is a call for us to all be very intentional, be very deliberate about being conscious of how other people feel. And more important is, you can never have a rounded view unless you're able to appreciate other people's perspective. It can never be one. I always tell my team members, never 1D. It's always think 3D, think 4D, 5D. And the only way you can think 5D and be a rounded individual is if you have the ability to be able to see things from other people's perspective, even if it's not what you believe in, but you are able to see it from this person's perspective, from a different religion. I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim. If I can understand and see it from the different religions' perspective, then it helps us be rounded and better individuals. And ultimately, that helps us make a difference in the world. So that's my last words.
That is so fantastic. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you so very much for that last word. Madam Etemere Glover, please, over to you. What would you want to ring as a bell as we round up the session today?
Thank you very much. If there's anything I want any woman to take away from this conversation, is investing in themselves. Be intentional. Nobody is going to do it for you. We talk about personal branding, talk about being intentional about networking, going for networking events. Nobody is going to come to your house to network with you. I mean, that's the truth. And some of these places where you can meet valuable contacts, you have to pay to go there. And so if you're waiting for your husband to give you money, sometimes he will say, I'm not going to give you the money. So we need to stop outsourcing our personal growth, our career development, investing in our businesses to others. We need to take control of it. Starts with investing in us and believing in ourselves. Everything I've heard from the beginning is about believing in yourself, being intentional in whatever you're doing, whether it's in personal branding, how you talk, how you dress, how you speak, are things that women must take control and be in charge of. So women, please take charge of your future. Take charge of your finances from what men are going to do for us. Men, we are trying to ask the men to be he for she's. The men, please, support us. So you invest in the women, you invest in the society which you belong to. College said that very well. But then again, we cannot just rely on men. We need their support, but we must lead. That's all I say. Thank you very much.
I love it. We need their support, but we must lead. Nobody's going to do it for you. You have to take the first step. Yoruba people have this adage that it's this child that raises up our hands or his hands that the parents will carry. So if you don't make the first move, people who are around you that might even have the help that you need won't be able to help you because you're not showing any signs that you need the help. Thank you so very much for that fantastic last words. Mr. Kole, I would ask you to just give your final words and I'll hand it over to you, Madam Kiki.
Well, thank you very much, Energetic EJ. I want to thank you. I want to thank the convener for bringing us to this conversation. Of course, Polake and also Etimore. All of you, I want to say that I learned from all your presentations, and I think they have been very informative and very educative. And I want to end by saying that I think we as men have to appreciate our privileges, our privileged position that we are, with our power that we have. And I think that, we need to acknowledge that power and the privilege that we have. I think that doing that is what will really make progress in our society, that we have privileges, we have power, and that in order for us to have a better society, we have to acknowledge and do the right thing by giving others the right to be who they are as human beings. Thank you very much.
I love it. Thank you so very much, sir. Very, very grateful for your presence here. Over to you.
Wow. What a day. What a day to be alive. Thank you so very much. I mean, I had a lot of things put down, but, I just feel so grateful for the gift of all the speakers and all the people who have attended this program. We have a lot of people on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, and I just feel so grateful and honored to be able to bring this amazing lineup of speakers. Like, I'm pinching myself. Is this, did we really pull this off? And the fact that everyone came right on time. I mean, I don't even know what to ask for. I just want to say thank you so very much. I said at the very beginning that I hope that people will leave here with their hearts a little bit fuller and their spirit a little bit brighter. But from the messages, I can see that it's more than just a little. A lot of people have taken key information from everything that we've shared here today. And I'm just so humbled and grateful. And I think for me, one of the key things that I'm really holding on to that all the speakers have touched on is being intentional. Nobody, how they say nobody is coming to save you. You've got to get up. You've got to do what you have to do. You have to show up for you because nobody's going to do. I mean, we're all running our own race here. And then you sit somewhere, you think, oh, this person is going to do it for you. You have to get up. And if you don't show the world what you've got, nobody is going to invest in you. Because, if I didn't put this conference together, I mean, how would I bring the likes of these amazing speakers together we have to do what we have to do so that people can see who you are, what you carry, and then they invest and support you. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I mean, we do this every year. This is the second time, and it's just been so surreal. It's just been so amazing, and I hope that we continue to do more, because my passion is very simple. My purpose is to die empty. I want to make sure that everything that God has deposited inside of me, which really is to support women, I realize that that is my happy place. Holding the hands of women, showing them who they are, because really, we know who we are. Sometimes we just need to be reminded. And that's what I just want to do. I want to remind every woman who you are. You are extra, you're special. And, you know, if I do this every day, it just gives me that joy. And I just feel like I am working in my purpose. And to all the amazing speakers who have joined me in working in my purpose to make me feel fulfilled, also feeling fulfilled, you know, doing all of this. I know you're doing this because it aligns with who you are and what you represent as well. I don't take your presence for granted. I don't take your access for granted. I know how busy every one of you are extremely busy. And so I don't take your access for granted. Thank you so much for being here. I'm very grateful. Just like Sis Folake said, I've learned a lot from her about being big on gratitude. I mean, that I don't even joke with anymore. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for letting us draw from your wealth of experience. We've learned so much from you, and we know that we'll be better for it. I see a lot of people saying thank you in the comment section. We're so grateful. The War Tribe is absolutely grateful, and we hope to continue to do this both virtually and physically. Thank you so much. God bless you. Make sure you enjoy the rest of the month and the year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done, energetic AJ.
Thank
You did a
you.
great job.
Thank you so much. Thank you
DJ
so much.
Fire, thank you so much.
All right, guys. I hope that you've had a fantastic time today, because I have. I've been fed, and I think I'm full. I just need to now go like a ruminant, you know, and go and regurgitate some of those things. Sit down, think about them, reflect on them, and draw out action points. What am I to do differently after engaging with such powerful insights from every speaker that I've spoken today? Write down one thing, one simple action that you're going to do differently. Is it just believing that you are worthy? That you are worthy of that idea that is coming at you? That your mind is not playing tricks with you when you see that vision, when you see yourself in that place that looks nothing like where you currently are? If that is that thing that you're going to take away from here, that I'm going to believe that I am enough, that I am the value, and I recognize it. See, let me tell you something about that mind shift. When you accept it, when you believe it, when you speak it and embody it, you might not need to do anything different. You would attract the support that you need. You will attract the kind of people that need the kind of thing that you can. Like, try it. First of all, change that mindset, because when you accept it, you begin to emit the vibration that attracts the kind of people that you need in your life. So sit down with your notes. I know you've written a lot, but don't let it stop there. Take one step of all the speakers, everything, even to what Etemore shared about financing. Yeah, that's the biggest one, right? Like, where do I start from? What is the first, what is the simplest step that you can take? Go back to the replay. Go and watch it again. If you're a member of the community, it's going to be on the Facebook group. If you're not, join the Facebook group. Or you can also watch it, come back to this video on YouTube and watch it and take notes and decide, this is one action that I'm going to take based on all the knowledge that have come to me today. Thank you so much for the opportunity to serve you, to be your pilots on this journey. I hope that we've taking you on a very smooth ride, and we are landing safely. And as you go into the rest of March, I hope that you march forward into your greater destiny, that you march forward into the higher version of who you already are. Remember, you are the value. Never forget that. And don't, what was that thing Madam Tewa said? He said, do not let your mind take you out of the game. All right? If your mind is coming at you, fight back. No grio this year. I shall not grieve for anybody. Don't grieve for your mind, okay? When it does not serve you, when it does not move you to your destination, don't grieve for it. It's been a pleasure serving you. I am the energetic EJ. If you'd like to connect with me, please do so via social media, The Energetic EJ. On LinkedIn, I am Ejiro Osakede. You can connect with me there, and let's continue on this journey to growth and personal development. By the way, I'm a coach, I'm a podcaster, and an event host like this. So if you're thinking of hosting a virtual event like this or in person, I'm available anywhere in the world. Call for me. I'll be right there. Thank you so much, Mama Kiki, for the opportunity to serve the second time in a row for the War Tribe. It is a privilege that I do not take for granted. I don't take it for granted. I don't take the platform and the opportunity to serve for granted. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Have a fantastic week ahead. Enjoy the rest of March. It's a bye for now. Adios. Ciao.